Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you check your YouTube?
Okay. Did you send me a new link?
I reset it.
Okay. Yeah, I see it's moving. And yes, I'm on. Thank you. Now you just got to check my... I don't see the chat. How do I get the chat? Huh. I don't know how I get it. There we are. All right. How much time, man? This is a long break, bro.
Yeah, it's a
It's
very
funny,
long break.
When you're not talking, it's long.
Radio station.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Man, do we got a lot going on today. Today's iHeartRadio Access Day. Don't forget, you go to that website and get screaming deals. For example, Frank Duran, the real estate man. This is really incredible. Now, some restrictions apply. For example, he's not going to do it out of state and all of that. You know, common sense restrictions. But Frank, 3.9% has to be the lowest rate out there right now. And that is a commission for the first 10 people that sign up at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. And not only that, I'm saying this from personal experience at least 5 times, 5 transactions, maybe 6. You're going to get the best person on the job for the lowest price. Frank?
Tom, good morning. You know, what a blessing. You know, I was thinking about this. iHeart, this Access Day, it's a blessing because it gives back. It's giving back. And all the great listeners we have on iHeart and KHOW, what a great thing to be able to do and have an opportunity. And, Tom, you know my story. I don't have to get into the whole thing, but you know, many years ago, it wasn't so great for me, and you know, I always told myself back then that I was going to work hard, and if I'm ever so blessed that I can bless people, I'm going to always do my best. And I think this is just another way of giving back, and you know, I'm just grateful for this opportunity to help people.
And tell us what that 3.9 commission, and no matter if they get the 3.9 or not, tell them what your listing includes.
Well, Tom, it's quite a bit. It's a professional deep house cleaning, including interior windows. It's all professionally done, and appliances. Carpet cleaning, carpet stretching, if necessary. Not everybody has carpet. Professional staging. There's one restriction to that, though. There's a staging agreement that must be signed, and that's just to give the company permission to put staging furniture in the house. So that'd be a restriction there. But it's a minor restriction. State-of-the-art professional high-definition photography plus 3D virtual tours, floor plans. The floor plans show the dimensions of every room. It's just incredible. Plus, our team support. I'll be the one that personally negotiates the sale, but I have a wonderful seasoned veteran team backing me up. Advanced aggressive marketing for your home, leading-edge technology. And here's the best part, Tom. We back it up with a written performance guarantee. And there's no gimmicks in this. It's basically like this. We just did all this work up front before we even listed the home. All the skin's put in the game up front. Let's say the very next day you say, hey, I don't think they're doing a good job. Or, hey, I changed my mind. I decided not to sell the home. Guess how much they owe us? 0. We eat all the costs. So we go in good faith to show people, hey, we're not going to just give you a gimmick and say, okay, on the back end we may or may not do this. We're going to put it all in up front to show them up front that we really mean business.
I know that, Frank, and I've experienced it personally. And right now, if they haven't done it already, they better go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and sign up. Now, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be way more than 10 people signing up, but we want you to sign up because if he only takes 10, then 5 of them drop out. That leaves him 5 openings. So he's going to take a list and start with the first until he gets 10. Is that right, Frank?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Sometimes people just change their minds. They decide, oh, you know, now's not a good time to sell. And so you're right. People could drop off for sure.
But in any case, if you go there right now, iHeartRadioAccessDay.com, you're going to look for Frank Duran. And Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And it's 303-920-1622. Now, for that deal, you can't call them. You have to go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. Just remember that. And then take it, whatever the instructions are there, to get in line for that 3.9% commission from the best guy I know. And I am not BSing here. He's the best guy I know. So, Frank, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. And I want to ask you something. How is the market right now as far as inventory?
Well, Tom, we still have an inventory problem, and I'll tell you something, that favors the sellers because we are getting these properties moved. I mean, a majority of these homes we're listing, we're still getting bidding wars. Now, it's not as extreme as we were seeing maybe a year and a half ago when it was really crazy, but we are certainly seeing that. And I'll tell you, I've had about 3 or 4 of these where we sold it so high that the appraisal came in short, where the buyer actually covered the difference because we had such a demand on the property. So some of these were actually going higher than the appraisal even.
All right, thank you. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I want to talk to Peter Goldstein, and he is with Harris Family Law. And, Peter, let's talk about this question I get continually. When you're going through a divorce, do you tell the kids, the young kids, or not? You guys have a lot of experience in this. And one of the things about Harris Family Law is they want to keep the family intact. What is your advice?
Thanks, Tom. We're not mental health professionals, and we're certainly happy to recommend to folks that they talk to mental health professionals when appropriate. But we had a talk last night with a pediatric nurse who's written a book on the topic of divorce and how to break that to the children. And she pointed out that it's important to tell them as soon as possible to help prepare them for what's to come, because they're very perceptive, and like adults, the fear of the unknown and what's to happen next can be very, very strong. And also, she pointed out that it's important for children to understand that while parents may not love each other any longer or may choose not to live together any longer, that doesn't mean that they're going to abandon their children, and children may worry about that.
Absolutely. A lot of adults take for granted that kids are just going to go through it, and when it's all over, they'll explain it. But you better explain it while you're doing it. And when you said you had a conversation last night, I want to explain, it's on your webinar, which is Wednesday nights, right? 303-515-5000. So Brad O'Brien Legal Services, we get this all the time, Brad, all the time. People call me and say, Tom, I put my kid on my house with a quitclaim deed. I want him to own the house when I'm dead. And I said, well, you just did your son a disservice because he inherited your basis on that house, which means whatever you paid for it plus whatever improvements you did. So presumably when you die, if he wants to sell it, he's going to have a big, big tax burden compared to the stepped-up basis that would happen if you left it to him in another way. Now, you don't do estate law, but you certainly must be asked from time to time to do, for example, a beneficiary's deed.
Sure. I help people deed properties within the family.
What is a beneficiary's deed?
That is also called a transfer on death deed.
Okay, good. That's what it is.
It takes effect when somebody dies, and it's revocable until somebody dies.
Good.
And you can actually revoke it in a roundabout way by selling the property before then.
Of course. It's not a guarantee they get the house. It's only if they die.
But it's got to be recorded before the...
It's an actual recorded deed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you don't record it before the grantor dies, then it has no effect.
Right. Now, if you record it and you want to sell your house, you don't have to get that person's permission that you put on there, right?
No, you don't.
Okay. So that is, and in Florida it's called a ladybird deed.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Well,
I've looked into ladybird, but
we don't have them here.
No.
So what is? Do you know what it is?
I'd have to do a little bit.
Okay, I was just curious. But in any case, a payable. It's like a payable on death certificate for a bank account, but it's a transfer of deed on death, right?
That's right.
Okay. 303-713-8255.
Super. Yeah, these breaks will seem a lot longer.
How much time do I
Even
have?
though
I'm
they're
gonna go
not.
get. I'm gonna go get something. How much time?
You have 6 minutes. You could go make
Wow.
something. Make us a sandwich. Which is always over the time that you need to be talking.
No, I'm good.
Does he tend to be a little bit?
He goes over a couple
Yeah.
minutes, and then he goes to break. Can you move something to the next break because I went over? What makes the next? You're not gonna. No. Not helping.
Well, since we have 6 minutes, I'm gonna go get some water.
Getting wet. And I'm gonna heat up my burrito. You're getting wet, and I'm heating up my burrito.
Well then, okay, I'll stay.
No, go ahead.
No, but
What are we gonna do?
well, if somebody calls.
It's all access. We're fine.
Yeah, but people can call in.
Kill me in the morning.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, I'll go grab my hot burrito now.
Go do it.
Do the thing.
Do it.
Joe Biden wants to say, you know the thing.
You know the thing.
You hate baseball.
I don't hate it. I like watching it in person and listening to it on the radio. I don't like watching it on television.
Okay, I can see that.
I actually looked into a ladybird for Lake Harris one time, but it's been a couple years. Off the cuff, but it was something different. Very, very unique.
Are you looking it up now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never. I always thought it was just a benefit.
Enter to win access items and tickets to see Nikki Glaser in Vegas. Are you hip to her?
I don't even know who that is.
Comedian
Oh, okay.
who is wildly inappropriate.
Okay. Interesting.
Very fun. Lots of like borderline medical things. I think she's the one that talks about doing a guy who had a vasectomy. So I had to see, does it taste different without kids in it?
Okay. Wow.
Just like
That is.
making Gatorade ice, what is it, ice flavor? Is it just clear? What's going on? Now for science, I got to do this.
I see. Love it. All right,
Virginia
I've got
School District is-
I've got a couple minutes. I'm gonna go grab my banana.
Oh, okay.
state.
What the hell does that mean? The person. So it gives somebody some rights.
You're simply the best. Oh,
Let's do it.
Taxpayer expense.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Don't forget waterpros.net. Now they have a special on a whole house system for under $5,000. Now, that includes all of the filtering for dangerous chemicals and drinking water at the kitchen sink, reverse osmosis. It's the best system. And if you shower or especially take a lot of baths, you want this system. PaulTheWaterman.com. Hey, let's talk to Carolyn, who has a follow-up of sorts. Well, now Carolyn dealt with a company called We Do It All Construction, and that was a real weird company. We Do It All. And so let's talk about the problem, okay? Terry, I guess they called you Terry. And what's the problem?
Oh, just the same.
The original problem, let's talk about it. The original problem first. Tell us what it was so we can refresh people. I'm trying to find your call right now.
We had hired Alfonso Rodarte and his wife to...
Oh, that's right. Sleaze Brigade. I got it. And oh my God, to move your home, and they said that you didn't give them a chance. They were going to do it. They don't cheat. Something like that.
Yeah.
And they still have your money?
Yeah, of course they do.
They said they were going to refund it, right?
Yeah, Crystal had called you guys in, and then I was trying to call her, get on with you guys, and then she hung up.
She's on the Sleaze Brigade.
Yeah.
So how do they justify taking money for nothing and chicks for free? I just added that last part. How do they justify? How do they do it? If you go to the referral list, you're going to see him featured on the front page. Alfonso Rodarte. The only moves he makes are on your wallet. That's the headline. And it reads, what do you call a guy who promises in writing to move a double-wide mobile home, then takes a $15,000 deposit and ghosts you? I can think of only one word: a thief, in my opinion. Alfonso's wife called to defend their business. Crystal Rodarte called my radio show to say they are not ghosting their customer, and she said Alfonso has been in constant contact with Terry's husband, Troy. However, Terry disputes that, saying they have not heard a word. She admits taking the $15,000 up front. She says they're still planning on fulfilling the contract, but there's been delays in weather. This is BS. These people are liars and cheaters, in my opinion, and they took your money. We got to do something about this. What are we going to do? I mean, you got to go after them. I think you can invoke the Contractors Trust Act. I mean, you got to go after them. You can't let them get away with it. In fact, I'd love to give them another call. Didn't I put their number in here? I wish. Oh, yeah. 505-592-3833. People, you ought to give Alfonso a call. Ask him what he's doing with the money. Or Crystal, 307-575-8779. Alfonso again, 505-592-3833. Let me know what they say. I'm Tom Martino. iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. We got more coming up.
all right.
Man, those people are scum. Damn it. They said they were going to take care of her. They didn't take care of nothing. Nothing, I tell
Hi,
you.
Mike. It's Kelly over at the Martino Show. How are you? All right, you ready for your? We're gonna come back in about 5 minutes. So you ready for your second one? All right. So
What
just to
update?
remind
What
me,
second one? What the hell are we talking about? What second one?
$1,000. See if I have this right.
Why are we doing? Wait. We're doing another one?
With Mike?
Any
Yeah.
Did you not want to?
Well, okay. I mean, I'll do it, but shit. I mean.
for
Did you guys talk at all about today?
No, we didn't. Do other shows get people on like this, or are they just doing the commercials?
I don't know what you and Mark figured out for this day.
Well, I'll do whatever he figured out. I just don't know about it.
500.
It's not so much the poor execution, but the poor planning, I think.
Well, we didn't. Mark figured there's no planning. Just they'll call the people and I'll do it.
We'll just talk at times until 2 and go
He
home.
knows what I can do and can't do. I mean, he wouldn't do anything too weird.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Yeah,
Got it.
Mark was the first person I heard about Access
I'm
Day
just
from.
doing what Mark told me to. He said
We
to get
understand
him on
that.
at 10 and 11.
What I'm wondering about
Okay, that's
is,
fine. No
Okay.
big deal.
What I'm wondering about is line 1. Why was she calling?
She needs help on next steps.
Because we need to push them more.
Yeah, she doesn't know what to do from here, so she needs
'Cause she didn't say
assistance
anything.
I want to
on-
call them. When we
she
get
needs-
back, I want you to call them, and I want to hear you talking to them.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
Kachina, I want to hear the studio, the control room with you, not them, but I want to hear you on the phone with them.
Well, I have no doubt that they'll not answer.
No, they may answer, and then you tell Crystal, ask Crystal, where's the money? Show me the money. Hey, let me ask you something, Shannon. When I'm completely silent and I mute my mics, do you hear noise from this studio? Hold on, I'm going to mute the mics.
Go ahead. Nothing really perceptible.
Okay, because I show on my VU that I have a little tiny static.
Well, I turn the Q speaker all the way up, and really nothing
Good.
comes out of me.
That's good.
Yep. Mm.
No.
All right, let me see if I can find Crystal's number. Hang on. Might be on my other pad.
Do you mind? Oh, my God.
Now,
So much burrito in my mouth. Do you mind telling her that's what we're doing?
ever.
Yeah, I gotta see if I even have it first.
You know what, Kelly?
Yeah.
I have a text question for Compass Insurance when you get a chance.
All right.
Okay, you want Compass on?
Yep.
Yeah, tell them it has to do with potholes.
Tom, do you still have, and they're on the Sleaze Brigade. Their number is on the referral.
Yeah, but that's not Crystal's number.
Oh.
Yeah, Crystal's number's on there.
Is it? Okay.
I'll give it to you, 307
Hold on.
Oh, hang on, she's grabbing her banana.
Go ahead.
307 575 8779.
8779.
Yep. Thank you.
7 Crystal. All right. Let me get Compass on. Hey, Brian, it's Kelly over at the Martino Show. I'm good, thanks. We have a couple text, or I think one text question in particular about insurance, so Tom wanted to bring you on. All right, hang on for me, and he will be right with you, okay? Hold on.
Protect none of that because I get it cheaper with my insurance, but I should have taken
I guess a discount card.
All right, let's see if this crystal chick will talk to me.
Well, don't dial now. Wait till we're on the air.
You can buy a certificate.
All right, Tara Lynn, we're going to try to call Crystal again, okay, once we get back on air, so just hang tight, okay?
Hanging tight. Roger.
Car does, yeah.
Hey, hold on a second.
Huh?
Just when they show senators with face masks
Oh, I
on.
thought you were looking in the studio.
No, just the news. They're like, so and so has decided to vote against. I'm like, who is that? They're in a face mask. I can't tell who that. Oh, God's sakes! All right, stand by.
By Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors for the best service in garage doors. You know what? They have all their prices on their site, so go to the site, and you'll see their prices. They also have emergency service 24/7 if you can't get your garage door closed or opened. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Okay. Let's go to the phones. I have a question here that came into the show, Brian. If we know that if you get pelted with hail or you get a branch falls on your car or if somebody, I don't know, comprehensive insurance, let's just put it that way. Most comps, they don't count against you, right, Brian?
On auto insurance, right, is what you're referring to, yes.
Right. So they don't count against you.
Auto, that's true.
Okay, now.
In some states they do.
What's that?
In some states they do.
But not here.
But in Colorado they don't.
Okay, so what about a pothole? Is that comprehensive?
That would be a collision.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought it was comp.
Nope, unfortunately. Or even, Tom, it's same thing, even if it was something in the road. Let's say a ladder that had fallen off and it was on the road and you ran into it, that's a collision claim, not a comprehensive.
Even if the ladder fell off another truck and the truck ran?
Yes, even if one complication, if it was midair as it hits you, that's a comprehensive. But once it hits the ground and it is settled,
oh,
put,
how weird!
A collision.
I got it. That's weird. Okay, so I want to hear something. I want to ask something really silly. If a car flies off an overpass onto your car, is that collision or comp?
That would still be a collision claim.
Okay.
It would be no different than an accident. Than
Okay.
A car that, that hits you, T-boned you or something, yeah.
All right, so that would count against you if you put in a pothole claim if you ruined your wheels and tires.
Yeah, that would be an actual chargeable claim.
Doggone it. Even if it's not your fault. I mean, really.
I know it. Yeah, I know. I mean, but if you think through, there's, even if it's not your fault, like you couldn't see the pothole, I get it. But that's still a collision claim.
Okay. I appreciate that very much. Compass Insurance Group, home of the insurance checkup, 303-996-9000. Wow. And also, Crystal. I mean, not Crystal. Crystal's the one we're calling. Kachina Kalori, my illustrious producer. Can you open up the mic and try to call Crystal?
I can.
Okay, this is Crystal at We Do It All Construction. They ripped off Terrelin for $15,000. I put them on the Sleaze Brigade, and they were really pissed off at me and said they're trying to move this trailer. She didn't give them a chance. Then they said they're still going to move it. Then they said they're going to refund the money. So, bottom line, they got $15,000 up front and did nothing. Zero. Zip. Nada. Zilch. Nil. What other words are there for this? Anyway, are you going to call? Let's hear it.
I'm calling right now.
Calling right now. One ringy-dingy, as you know, I remember that. Two ringy-dingy. You remember who that was? Huh? Okay. You don't remember that? Lily Tomlin?
All right, so here's a weird situation.
Yeah.
What? I will call the number that you gave me, which is the number we have up on Sleaze Brigade.
Yeah.
So hang on.
Well, what do you mean? What's the weird situation?
I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm. All right. I want to hear the weird.
Let you hear it.
What's weird? Is it disconnected?
It is disconnected.
How about let's do Alfonso?
All right.
505-592-3833. Is that other number now disconnected? Really? Do you have a new number for Crystal?
What is it? 505.
592-3833.
Okay, let's see.
Alfonso. Rodarte. Oh, it's ringing. Let's see. One ringy-dingy. I can't believe people don't remember this. Two ringy-dingy. Am I that old? God. Three ringy-dingies. If he answers, just talk to him privately and let's hear what he has to say. Come on, bro. Nope. What's going on with that one?
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling. We rip you off of construction, give us your money, and we do nothing. Okay. He's not answering, but at least it's working. Do we have any other numbers for Chris? Hey, Terrelin. Let's bring Terrelin up. If you guys can multitask. Terry. Do you have another number for Crystal Rodarte? Because this one is like... Go ahead.
Yeah, there is another one. It's a 307, but for the life of me, I can't remember who found it. I don't know if I found it or if
we
Kelly
found it. We may have found it. I don't know. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
This is serious, though. I don't want to make light of this. We're talking about $15,000 frickin' dollars here.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to step it up. The district attorney, where they are. I'm serious. I want you to call the district attorney. Where are they located?
They're in Montezuma County. I've already called them.
Did you call the Montezuma County DA?
Yes.
What did the Montezuma County DA say?
They weren't sure what they would do, so they told me to call Adams County, where I had wired the money from. And
come on.
I've already done a felony report in Adams County, though. Adams County did want to take a felony report.
That is wonderful. Montezuma. 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 Why does that ring a bell? Oh, I know why. I have some oil wells there. Okay. Montezuma County. I wonder what this guy, why he thinks he can get away with this. So I'm happy that your county, Weld County, took a report, right?
Adams. Yeah,
Oh,
Adams
Adams.
County did.
I'm
'Cause-
sorry. You wanted
Yeah,
the trailer
no,
moved from
that's-
Weld County, but you're in Adams County.
Correct.
Okay, that's an update.
Yep.
I thought I put. Okay, did they contact you since you made that report?
They have not, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and call and make sure that he got
You know, I'd
everything
also call the
in line.
FBI because that's a wire fraud. Did you wire the money?
Yeah, it was a wire transfer. done
Call
to
the
my bank.
FBI, and the way you get them really interested is tell them that Alfonso is friends with Trump. And then you'll get them to really investigate. Just kidding, of course. Okay, listen. I don't know what else to tell you, man. You did the right stuff. We're going to stay on top of them. And then I think...
Yeah, and I just needed info. If you just had info for me on an attorney or where I go next on next steps to the Contractors Trust Act and how do I start that process?
Okay, that's interesting. We need... This is breach of contract, but it's also... What you would do is bring a breach of contract and then add to it in the complaint the Contractors Trust Act. That's how I mean, Brad, is that how you would do it as an attorney? I don't want to talk as an attorney for her.
She might bring a civil theft claim, which is under a statute.
A civil theft claim. That's for taking money for nothing, right?
Yeah, and that comes with attorney's fees built into that.
Okay. And let's see who you would get. You would probably want to get someone. It would be nice of you to get someone in Montezuma. I don't even know if they have attorneys. I don't even, like, is there a city in Montezuma? What's in Montezuma County?
Cortez.
Cortez? I wonder if there are any attorneys there. Seriously. I don't know if it's a small...
Well, down here, it seems like everybody's shady, so I'm kind of scared. That's why I'm turning to you for the advice on attorneys.
I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah. There are some... I'm looking. Cortez, there are some attorneys there. Oh, that's personal injury. Gosh, dog. Okay, here's the deal. You got to look. I found some Cortez attorneys, criminal, family, personal injury. There's no contract law. That's the problem. Let's see this guy. He works primarily employment law, representing employees, never mind. So, civil litigation, contracts, real estate. He's in Cortez, and he'll do a Zoom call with you, a consultation.
Okay.
You also have another guy in Cortez who does, he's personal injury. Forget those right now for this. I'm trying to find you one. I would call this guy. I really would. I really would call this guy. He does regular civil litigation. He looks pretty cool. I don't know what that means, but let me give you the number. Seriously, his name is David Albrechta. Albrechtha. David Albrechta. 970-422-3288. Hey, he's right there in Cortez.
Perfect.
I really would, because he does general contract law and all. He's the only one that I see that does all that. Other than that, they're family law, and they're mainly family law and personal injury. Let us know what happens. We're going to keep the pressure on them too. I forgot who I assigned this to, one of our deputies, but we'll stay on top of it. 303-713-8255, and I urge people to let Alphonse know what we think of him. 502. His is 505-592-3833. 505-592-3833. Just leave a nice message and say, I heard about you stealing money and doing nothing. Hey, Mike Robinson, this thing, and I'm serious when I say this, in my opinion, you have the best deal on iHeartRadio Access Day. Now, why do I say that? Because there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you go to iHeartRadio Access Day and look for Mike Robinson's special, this is Smith Plumbing, Heating, and Electric, SmithPinkTrucks.com. They're in the Springs and the whole Pikes Peak region. Mike, how far north do you... Somebody wanted to know if you would do this in Castle Rock.
Yeah, Tom, we are licensed in Castle Rock, although we don't do a lot of business there. We try to stay from Monument south to West Pueblo.
Okay, now the question is this: what do you get when you go on there? Explain your incredible deal.
Yeah, so this is our way of inviting people in to see our service, our great service, risk-free. Get for $1,000 worth of service for $100, $500, $75 get you $500 worth of service, and give us a try. I mean, we're one of the largest home services companies in the Colorado Springs area.
So if you pick a job, that costs $1,000, you can now get it for $100. Are there any limits, for example, like the number of coupons per household?
Yeah, we've limited to one per household. Again, it's kind of a try us and see if our service is something you want to develop a long-term relationship with. But you've got that old toilet that's just running, you want to replace it. You've got a garbage disposal that just hasn't worked for a while. You need some serious work on your air conditioner and get it ready for this summer. You know, you call us, we'll come out, go through all the options with you, and let's say it's a $980 bill. I mean, we're going to do all that work for you for $100.
Now, what if it's more than $1,000? Can you still apply that coupon?
Yeah, so even if you wanted to get a water heater, let's say, you get a $1,000 coupon, and for another, $980, you get a fully installed, brand new 40-gallon gas water heater. So it's less than $1,000. You're getting a brand new 40-gallon gas water heater.
That's
so it really is what it is. It's a full-on voucher coupon that's available to anyone who for $100,
right,
get $1,000 worth of service, and give us a try.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell people where to. I'm going to tell people where to go. iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. Look for Smith Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. I mean, better late than never, you old son of a bitch.
Dude, not today. You're not doing very well at this, but I will give you grace.
Thanks, Mike.
What do you mean I'm not doing very well?
I understand that it's very confusing today to try to work these things in. So
work what in? I just meant you. You didn't hit the button fast enough.
Well, who would have known you were done? I mean, we were checking life support, but it was still pinging.
I gave my cue, my verbal cue. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So I talked to Carolyn, and I also looked at my notes. We didn't ever assign this to a deputy, but do you want me to give it to Marty?
I think we've loaded them up yesterday, didn't we? I don't know.
No, we never assigned her a deputy before.
I know, but I think we loaded Marty up yesterday. I'm not sure if anybody can get through to this guy. You know what? I would love for him to take a shot at it. Yeah, he's really good.
I think this is right up his alley.
Now, he's got some follow-ups he ought to come on, by the way, Marty, because I've gotten emails from him. I'll bring up the emails if he comes on.
This one may be above Marty's pay grade. We may need a van load of guys with bats.
Oh, this guy is... he's a scum-sucking pig.
Totally.
Troubleshooter show needs a group of guys.
A mafia.
We need muscle.
The Martino Mafia.
Oh, my God, yes.
So you're not going to give the money back. Well, this is a very difficult situation.
I am really getting pissed at this damn thing here.
Son of a... And our network breaks are not filled out because you're not doing lives.
Right,
so
and,
we end up.
They're also just PSAs, like you
so
said.
So we're running a lot of PSAs, Alzheimer's and stuff.
Why do we even have spots? Let's just do the show.
I wouldn't mind.
Do we have to take? Well, we do have to take.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, if we're taking spot breaks, you're not running regular spots. At least we're running iHeartRadio Access Day spots, right?
Right. There are 4, maybe 5 things that do rotate.
Okay.
DraftKings, SeaWorld. We're running ads for SeaWorld. today.
Lots of PSAs.
Well, for the network breaks. Now, I haven't looked ahead, but talk with Dragon about this. The next 2 hours, the breaks may only be about 2.5 minutes long because you don't have other spots in there, so you may have 4 very short breaks.
Ah.
But like I say, I'll leave that up to you and Dragon to figure out. There were times on CMN this morning I just ran the spots again and again because we didn't have a guest ready.
Got it.
So I just copied and pasted their current spots. And so I'm sorry if I seem frustrated with you. I'm frustrated with everyone today because of the poor planning.
There's no poor planning, is there really?
So it's poor execution. Okay, I'll take that. I accept that criticism.
What's poor?
You know, Tom, you and I have talked about this. There's people in an office somewhere that plan this stuff out and have all day to get it right. We have seconds to figure it out while we're doing it live, right?
I got my kid's report card, and I don't want to look at it because I'm going to get pissed. If I get pissed...
Haven't they already signed it and returned it? I mean, what kid doesn't learn to forge their parent's autograph on a damn report card?
I'll see right now. God damn it. I just didn't want to do it.
I got a D+. Oh, my God, I passed.
Yes, my parents have seen this.
You know, I'm one to talk. I flunked out of high school. I think my highest GPA was a 1.
You did not flunk out.
It was.
I was asked to leave. Yeah, I was kicked out of Overland. The principal at the time, great line, Mr. Scott, this institution no longer holds anything for you. Showed me the door.
So that's why you ended up in radio.
Yep. I had to turn to radio.
You know, I got some email where people did not believe my Home Depot story.
That you got frisked on the way out?
Oh my God, you never heard his Home Depot story
No,
yesterday.
I had to leave.
Oh, I'm going to
Excuse me, sir, is that a hammer in your pocket?
I'm going to do it again.
We had to dump him because he said, God damn it.
Oh, wait, you dumped God damn it?
Yeah, you have to.
Why?
Why?
Because.
What?
Why?
Because.
No.
You can say damn it, and you can say God, but you can't say God damn it
Who
together,
said
apparently.
you can't say
Yeah,
that?
I'd have to look that one up. I don't know about that.
I'll bet you can.
Because normally it's just the George Carlin 7.
Actually, I don't think you said God damn it. I think you said God damn something, and that's why it was.
Was Dragon a little nervous?
Be large.
Oh,
Beelar. Well, no, Dragon's pretty nervous. They're all nervous.
Here we go.
Dragon is very nervous.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. By the way, 888heating.com. Get your air conditioner guaranteed lowest price. How about that? In the Denver area, by the way, that's for the same equipment, the same exact job. They'll give you the best price. 888heating.com, 303-770-2776. Listen, Brad O'Brien's with us for real estate. We're talking real estate. Brad, back east, whenever we had a real estate closing, without even thinking about it, the title company would ask, you know, who's your real estate person or who's your attorney, who's this, who's that. And in many times, the closings took place in an attorney's office. When I moved here, I was shocked that attorneys are not used. On the East Coast, almost all over, attorneys are used in every closing. They just sit there, or they're by phone. And it's not much, a few $100 maybe, who knows, depending on how complicated it is. Where is the tradition? I mean, here they don't do that. And I'm not saying they have to, but I wonder why.
Yes, certain states like Illinois, New York, South Carolina, they have attorneys on both sides of nearly every deal, residential deals.
I know.
Even smaller ones. Not in Colorado. The tradition here is that people rely on the title company to prepare closing documents.
And the real estate brokers are supposed to have a limited practice of law for that transaction only.
Yeah, real estate brokers are allowed to fill in blanks. They really cannot free-form draft contract documents. the clients have to draft anything that's special language. But here, people just sort of cross their fingers and rely on the title companies to prepare.
But most of the
these,
time,
but they
not
really
much.
shouldn't, because
But most of the time, though, there aren't big problems, are there? What are some of the things you discovered when people go over docs? By the way, your phone calls take priority at 303-713-TALK. We'll take you 713-8258. Go ahead, Brad.
Well,
some of the things you run across.
I do recommend that people hire an attorney for all real estate transactions. And when I'm involved in a real estate transaction, I do find things that would have been overlooked. For example, mistakes on the closing statement, dollar figures that were wrong, or somebody
Just obvious
one
stuff.
side got charged something that the other side should have gotten charged for.
Okay.
I'm also looking at the title to see that the seller has.
Do you see
title.
if people are exposed to like taxing districts they may not be aware of, or weird HOA rules? Do you ever look at that stuff?
Well, I do look at HOA documents when there's a purchase in an HOA, and by looking at those documents, you can tell if there's brewing lawsuits that are brewing.
Yes.
You know, may not have been filed yet, but
Right.
if you look at the meeting minutes, you can see that there's some just arguments going on about something, or maybe a special assessment is coming up.
All right, let's talk to Nancy. Has an HOA question. Nancy, welcome to the show. What's going on, Nancy?
Yes, Tom. Yes, Tom, this is Nancy. We had a Zoom meeting this past Tuesday on a new assessment on some roof repairs. They weren't really clear.
Well, let me wait. You had a Zoom meeting about a roof?
About roofs they tend to replace or repairs.
Okay, who was this
Because of
Zoom
air
meeting
damage?
with? Was this Zoom meeting with the roofer?
No, these were representative of the members. The HOA members.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask a few questions first, Nancy. Are you saying that your roof was destroyed by hail and you had a meeting to see what kind of roof to replace it with? Or are you saying that your roof is getting old and the HOA is asking you to replace it?
No, this is not just me, Tom. This is the whole property, the whole community.
Are you in a condo or townhome community?
On a condo and townhome.
Okay, now I understand. They're having a meeting with the membership because they have to replace the roof. And with or without insurance, there might be a giant copay or deductible. Were they saying that they're going to collect money from each owner?
Oh, yes.
How much?
$3,000.
How much?
$3,000.
Okay, but
$3,000
Nancy,
as of July 1st.
Nancy,
Yeah.
I want to tell you something, okay? They probably have a right to do that. I say probably because with HOAs, what they do is they buy insurance policies for their roofs, and the deductible is borne by the HOA. That means the members. If there's not enough, they have to go out and assess the members. That's for an insurance claim. For a regular roof claim, they just go out and assess homeowners, just the same they would if they were redoing the parking lots or redoing the exterior paint job or anything. They usually do. Brad O'Brien Legal Services, he does real estate. Isn't this common, though, assessments?
Sure. The governing documents of the condo association will provide the procedure for how special assessments like this for major repairs get approved.
But I wouldn't say it's, I mean, it's not, I don't know the bookkeeping or anything or how much they're allowed to assess, but in general, HOAs are allowed to do this.
Yeah, HOAs are supposed to do reserve studies so that they look 5, 10, or more years out into the future about for what
to avoid this.
Repairs and replacements are going to be projected, and start saving in advance for those things, and so that they shouldn't have to go after the unit owners for special assessments to pay for those.
Yes.
Why did it took 6 years though? They claim it's because of due to hail damage. Who the hell remembers if we had hail damage in 2017?
Well, hold on. Here's what I want to know. If there was hail damage in 2017, why did they not put in an insurance claim? Do you know?
That's my question.
But it wouldn't matter because here's why. Nancy, I'm going to tell you something that's really surprising. Listen to this. if the HOA members failed to file an insurance claim in 2017 because they were idiots or they didn't realize it, you would still have to pay the money. That doesn't get you out of paying the money because the HOA is a representation of you, the owner. You think it would get you out of something. It's not going to get you out of something. The only thing that would get you out of it is if the HOA put in an insurance claim for the roof in 2017 and the officers took the money and stole it from the HOA. If you guys could prove that, you could claw back the money or get judgments against those people and put it toward the roof. But that is ridiculous. I mean, do you think that's what happened?
Probably, Tom. Like
Okay, good. If you think the HOA stole the money, then you go about and trying to prove it. But meanwhile, you're going to have to pay the $3,000. There's no two ways about it. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, if it's a legal assessment, you have to pay it. I don't know what's going on with your HOA, but I'm assuming that the HOA is collecting an assessment because they need it. You can ask for a complete set of books so you can go over it to see if they truly need that money. How many owners are there?
233.
Okay. And did you ask them?
Units.
What's that?
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
How much did they say the roof's going to cost?
$3,000 per unit.
So it's going to cost about $700,000 is what they're saying.
Right.
How big is the how many buildings?
Roughly, but it's about 200.
No. I'm asking how many buildings. Do you have 200 buildings in that unit? Not how many condos, how many buildings?
About 40.
40 buildings. Okay. So that's about $17,500 for. I would say that's a very realistic price. In fact, it's cheap. I think that's your deductible. I think they are getting insurance. Listen, Nancy, I can't help you more than that. You're going to have to get someone to. I mean, you got to get other homeowners who don't want to pay and try to hire an attorney and prove that the HOA stole the money and therefore you shouldn't have to pay it. And by the way, that's going to cost you more than your $3,000. But if you want to do it, go ahead. And then even if you do prove they stole the money, there would be criminal charges, but it's possible they don't have the money to pay it back. But I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I truly do. I think you're wasting time and that you probably owe the money. That's my opinion. I think, you probably owe it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Stem cell therapy to avoid surgery. It does work. It really does. And in other conditions, it just helps and improves and maybe delays surgery or makes it less of a surgery you need. Stem cell therapy, Denver Regen. Talk to a Regen doctor, 833-STEM-GEN, 833-STEM-GEN.
Very nice.
Yeah, now you hit the button at the right time.
Well, it helps to keep my finger on your button most of the time.
Okay. Now, I don't have anything here either, do I?
Never.
How much time?
Till, 6 minutes.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Yeah, 3,000 is cheap. I've seen people get hit with 10, 15 grand for a special.
Yeah, what's your name?
If it was an insurance claim, sometimes they have.
Lewis. And you have comment on the HOA issue. Okay,
I
hang
think
on for me.
700 grand is high for deductible. 50 grand is high for deductible.
We don't need another hero.
Yeah.
I'm going to put on, I don't know, it's not hot down here.
I'm good. Appreciate you figuring out that pothole thing for me, because I was wondering about that. Don't make a claim on that. It was more than increased premiums.
Doesn't it suck, though?
As far as I can tell, you're not getting the deal on a Cub Cadet today, comma, are you? Question mark. Mark and I are in the same boat. We thought we'd get a big deal at Home Depot today or something. Nope.
No.
They do sometimes.
But go with Tom because he got stopped for shoplifting over chain.
Should have.
Was it around his neck?
Fantastic.
Couldn't get any pictures because he was on Camden. He was too busy. It was getting dark.
Wow, 4 minutes. God, these do go long. When
Well,
you don't have
he
any
would have
live.
just finished doing a live, yeah.
Fortunately, it's like 2 miles from the Tesla maintenance place.
Ooh.
Big one, yeah. Such a big increase in cost to go from buy to that. I just
My wife would not.
Adopt a teen.
I had money down on it, just that $250 you put, and she just wouldn't. We took when I had it, and then when she drove it, God, did she? I love it.
Yeah, the state just bumped up their tax credit from $2,000 to $5,000 starting July 1st. It was $5,000 years ago. They went like 35, 25, and then 2,000. And it just took it all the way back up again.
I got the 25.
That's fine.
My hands on my burrito.
How much are those Model
What kind of burrito is it?
Leftover
How much?
Taco Bell.
Oh my. Those heat up the best.
They're cool looking, man. I don't know. I mean, they're not actually that cool looking, are they? They don't have like. I wish they had a pickup truck, and they say they do, but they're coming out, but they don't. Do they?
Oh, they're about to ramp up. They're going to start, I think, in July or August.
Will they really have them? Those are bullshit.
They got the line set up and they're hiring them.
Well, it's 1,000 horsepower. So this is faster than the S, isn't it? The S is same horsepower. Same horsepower.
Yeah, just crazy. You don't need that much. It's crazy fast.
And what's the Y really?
I have a Y also. It has a 2.9 acceleration, which is nuts. It beats everything on the road except another Tesla.
So wait a minute. So the Model S. You have a Y. How much are they?
In the $50,000 range.
Really?
Before incentives. Now you get $7,500 federal.
No shit. I thought so. The Model Y is comparable to this 3 or not?
Yeah, it is. It's just taller. Yeah. The Y is like 2,000 more than the 3. But you can get 12.5 off now through tax credits. So
Wait, the federal tax credit?
Federal $7,500 in Colorado.
I thought they'd stop the tax credit for the Tesla.
Sorority in Wyoming has let
This year, not last year.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while,
Shit.
which is bullshit.
So how much total?
If I were a dad, I'd figure out where the security cameras are. For my daughter's safety.
Tesla dropped its own prices.
Yep.
Make sure that she's. And maybe
After tax credits,
I should look at
park in a dark area there at night to keep an eye on the place.
Now, why is the Plaid the same horsepower as the other Model S?
I would just be
That
Here we
doesn't
go.
make sense to
Be
me. Oh,
there.
no, that's the Plaid.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
83.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Lewis has a comment. Hey, Lewis, on the HOA issue. And she's bitching about this $3,000 capital assessment for the roof. And again, she should probably do a little investigation. If it's a result of an insurance loss, some people have loss coverage for assessments. But anyway, Lewis, what's going on with you?
Well, that was my comment, and this probably will not help her out, but you can, as a condo owner, purchase special assessment insurance that would cover any special assessment like this. And
well, it wouldn't cover, hold on, it wouldn't cover a worn-out roof, or it wouldn't cover a parking lot or maintenance. It would cover anything that would be covered by insurance.
I am not an insurance professional, but
yeah, that's what I mean. In other words, let's say you had an insurance loss, the roof. With or without insurance, if they assess the homeowners, your loss assessment coverage, your assessment coverage would cover it. If the parking lot needed to be repaved and they assessed them, it wouldn't be covered. If there was
correct general maintenance, but if it's a special assessment due to loss,
that's right.
Should cover that.
That's right, it would, and it's not that expensive to get that coverage either.
It's dirt cheap.
Yep, and that's the thing. I wonder, more and more people should get it because it's really important. Anyway, thanks. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. That is, what do they call it? Assessment coverage, special assessment coverage. And it's really smart to have. But again, it doesn't cover everything. There could be capital assessments due to lack of maintenance. That's why whenever you go to buy a condo or a townhome, it is critical that you know the condition of the condo, the common areas, and the finances of the HOA. If the HOA is mismanaged, you end up bearing the brunt of future expenses. Another one, unpaid assessments. Let's say they had an assessment or a loss in 2021, but they don't get around to doing it till 2023. And that assessment was levied in 2022. And you're buying it in 2023. If that previous owner did not disclose to you there was an assessment out there, that could be big trouble, right? Couldn't you get them for that? I remember a case, somebody called, and they were assessing her, but she just bought it. But this loss went back a couple years. Technically, the previous owner should have been responsible, right?
Yes, and a title company closer normally would catch that.
So that's the kind of thing that you need to look out for. Any lawsuits, too. Brad O'Brien's with us, real estate attorney. You mentioned Brad sometimes, and I got caught in this, where they were embroiled in a lawsuit. And I bought into it, and I didn't do my homework or something, but shouldn't that be disclosed to me? This was a while ago. They were in a lawsuit. They were in two lawsuits, one for the elevators and one for a taxing district that they thought they shouldn't be assessed for, something like that.
Yeah, I think that should be disclosed by a seller. That's a material.
Even if the seller is just a condo owner and it's the HOA engaged, right?
Yeah, part of the seller property disclosure form includes common elements, things outside of the unit itself, and so the association's lawsuits may be required to be disclosed.
I want to talk to you about a major problem we're having with two condo developments, and it seems to be a trend, and I want to get your opinion on it. They both were consumed or destroyed partially by fire. This is a very weird situation. We'll have more on that coming up. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget waterpros.net, the best water systems, the lowest prices. Or you can go to paulthewaterman.com. I'm telling you, you can get the best. You can get a whole house softening for your plumbing and all that under $2,000 fully installed.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man.
What do I have
Almost
here?
done.
Say it again. What do I have here? Nothing.
You have to go potty.
Ugh. I will be back.
I just want to hear. There's some built-in sound effects in the Roadie. Have you ever even touched the buttons? I've never done it. I'm going to do it.
Bumper music.
Wow, what's that? This one? Oh, that's good to know. This one? Okay. Oh, I love that one. I never even touched these before.
That's what she said.
Oh, I like it.
Good morning, Troubleshooter Show. Did you want to talk to Tom?
Oh, I love it. I got to
rise
label
up
it.
against HOAs. We should be out there with pitchforks and crap, but I digress. Let me get you over to Kelly, and she'll get your info to Tom. Hang on, don't run
I
off.
gotta remember that.
There isn't a label to put on them, but in the box there should have been little squares.
How do I load? Can I
cheat
load
sheet.
other ones though if I don't like the?
Yeah, onto mini, or I don't think you can do it through the USB, but you can put it onto that mini SD card and then drag them in, and you can make I think 4 or 5 pages of those.
Oh, really? How do you switch pages? I don't see a switch page here.
Gosh, I don't remember, but it's definitely there.
I love the Roadie.
I think you hit sounds.
I love
Gosh,
the.
I'd have to have it in front of me. But
I don't know. No, there's no way to switch. Well, maybe the
yeah,
menu.
it's in the control window. It's in the
Menu.
main settings window.
Very cool. Let me see.
I don't know if it's under channels or under just audio. They may just call it audio.
It says sounds. Hold on.
Oh, sounds. Okay.
Yup. You can absolutely, man. You can absolutely do that. Oh, this is cool. How'd you get so smart? Hey, the Roadie's the best thing made.
It really is crazy.
I love it.
Oh, man, the mic processing alone is worth the price.
I want to know how I take this show on the road. I got to buy all these patch cords because I do not. They're all strung through my desk. I don't want to untie them every time I go. So all I need is a mic cable. I need a headphone. I got that. And then a power. I got to get a new power supply for this. I bet you I can buy just that.
Yep.
And then that cord setup you gave me.
Correct.
Yeah, I got to do that for sure. Because then I have to feed audio back. See, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh,
Make sure you get a nice little Pelican to put it in.
When I'm out on the road, I will not need to feed the audio to YouTube.
And will you be doing this like from a hotel or an RV or a...
No, my house or a home.
Oh, a different home. Gotcha. Okay.
In California, unfortunately, but...
Yuck.
I know. Not my choice.
So you're definitely going to have to make sure that it's LGBTQIA plus capable.
Oh, it is.
Good.
And
okay.
it's inclusive.
Oh, fantastic.
And don't step in poop when you're there.
Did you have the equity button turned on?
Yeah.
For that last... Okay, make sure that's engaged.
I have homeless encampments on the front yard.
Right.
And let's see what else. I don't know.
And when you... Well,
rainbow
make sure
flag. I got the rainbow flag.
Make sure the diversity filter is off.
Do you know something? Now that I think about it, there is no reason for anyone not to have a good pair of shoes or clothes or food when they can go in and just steal.
I'm certainly considering it.
I'm talking about homeless.
Oh,
They can walk in and take whatever clothing they want,
Yep.
shoes.
Yep.
I mean, at least if we're going to have this relaxed environment, at least let it help people who really need it.
I can certainly go get some Lululemon.
So the sign, the will work for food. No, you don't have to.
No, you can just take it.
I know. So why are they doing it then?
Why
For
are they
drugs.
standing out there?
For
I'm
drugs.
wondering if less of them are standing out there now. I haven't seen a ton of people lately.
Oh, I've seen them in every intersection I go to.
Okay. Maybe I wasn't looking.
But they have, they only go to intersections where they can hide their cars.
I call it the ramp tax. Pay the ramp tax
No, but
today?
seriously, I thought of this now. Just thought, will work for food.
Yeah.
Need shoes. No, you don't. iHeartRadio Access Day. How is it going, by the way?
Good morning.
Well, I
Thanks
wish
for
I
calling the
knew.
Tom
I'd
Martino
love to
Show.
talk to Dave Barnett when it's over to see what happened. Okay, here we go.
National Institutes of Health.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I have Brad O'Brien with me today, olslaw.com. He's weighing in on that kind of thing. And we talked about beneficiaries' deeds and leaving a home to someone. Dan McKenzie specializes in that, wills, estate law, trusts, probate, and all of that. And I want you to look for Dan McKenzie on my referral list at referralist.com. He's a great guy. And we get so many calls about estate planning. Years ago, we used to have Blake Harris. He's a great guy. He moved out of state. And then Dan McKenzie became our expert, 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS, or coplans.co. Hey, Kevin, you want to talk about an HOA issue as well. Go ahead, Kevin. What's happening?
Okay, it's been about 4 or 5 years ago I called your show about an HOA issue, and it was really about leaks in the plumbing, and it went on to another place, and, I actually was victorious, sort of, in that case because I proved that it was part of the common areas and it was their responsibility.
Oh, they were trying to say
However,
that you needed, they were trying to say you needed to fix it?
Yeah, they actually billed me. They actually had their maintenance company send me the bills. And so what happened is in my dispute back and forth with them, what they did to make it complicated for me, they issued a cease and desist and then sent me to court, to civil court, in order to try to say that I was disruptive to their business, which the definition of disruption to their business is by the board, not by the book, by the dictionary.
Well, did they succeed with that claim?
I'm sorry?
Did they succeed with that claim against you, or was it dismissed as it should be?
Well, we ended up, it was never dismissed. We ended up having a mediator come in, and that's why I say I was partially victorious, because I never paid.
Now, do you have a new issue, or were you just? Do you have a new issue, or were you just calling into?
I have a new issue.
All right, can you hold on? I will take you right. And please hang on. I'll take you right after the break. We also have Brad O'Brien with us to weigh in on these condo fires. I wanted to talk about affecting a lot of people, and it seems to be a trend with condominiums right now.
Yeah.
I guess I have a little bit of time.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Where's this food you're talking about?
On your desk.
Oh, it's on my desk.
Do you secretly sleep in the Freedom Studio?
Not in a long time.
Just in the winter?
I guess, yeah. I definitely take naps in there.
All right, ladies and germs. I got zero res coming to my house today. Alfonso. So I'm looking at this Model S. It's 108. The one I had ordered was 132. So they came way. I just want to know what I can do here for. Will they give me a trade-in right here on the air?
Tesla?
See the 21-inch wheels? You think you want them, but you don't, because then you get all the extra bullshit pricing. I hate this color. I hate that color. I like this color. So included. This is more. See? I can get. I don't even want all that shit. Interior, hate it. Hate it. Love it. Okay. Steering control. Do I want to write? I like that steering wheel. Do you like the yoke?
I don't have any experience with it. I don't think I would. Surely.
Sorry, I closed the...
Okay, hold on. Enhanced
I know, it's just
navigate.
basically opening there. But even if I needed sunshine, I don't think through that window.
Truly full though.
Large said it's better than, it's not much better than
So you, what are you paying? 15 grand.
Very, very similar to the windows in Fort Lauderdale.
Seriously. So it doesn't do it.
No, I have not.
No, I have not.
So even the basic one, this one, auto park, auto lane G navigate on all.
Bye, Shams.
Give it up.
See you
Have fun,
tomorrow.
Mark
Shady
Summon,
Poo.
come on. That,
I had those. You know, use them.
it doesn't, it'll scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. And it's so slow. The auto summon, if you're like at a grocery store, it takes like 5 minutes to get to you, and the car's like honking at it. Oh, it's so slow.
So you wouldn't get this enhanced auto.
I got it. My first Tesla, and I decided after that not to get them.
Can you add it afterward?
Maybe more.
What is a mobile connector?
They don't sell it with a charge cord anymore. So you have to buy the charge cord separate.
So both of them.
That's for your house, in your garage. You don't need it. You can actually just get a NEMA 1250 plug, big old plug. You don't have to have their.
Does their charger charge faster?
Yeah, a tiny bit. Yeah.
So, learn more. Let's see. 44 miles per hour. 24-foot cable. Continue. I'll put that Pearl 19. I'm just curious. Now, but here's what I want to know, though. I want to know about trade first, but they make you go through this first. This is bullshit.
That's part of it. If you do financing, you might be in there.
Go with it. They don't even tell you the terms. You'd have to go pay that right now. I mean, I wonder how a lease would be on a Tesla. Seriously.
10 seconds, guys.
Any other promo?
Winning Edge, sell fast, more cash. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Remax Alliance.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice,
There
so
must
you
be
don't
some
have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. Welcome to the show this hour, brought to you by HarrisFamilyLaw.com. For all kinds of information free, if you go to their webinar page, for future webinars, they're listed, and the past webinars are archived for you to watch on all kinds of family law topics. It's very important if you're considering a divorce, separation, child custody battle, whatever. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars. Okay. Kevin is talking about an HOA. I want to talk about HOAs. We have Brad O'Brien with us, O'Brien Legal Services for Real Estate. Maybe he can chime in. Now, Kevin talked about one time he had a plumbing problem. He took his HOA on and won. They had to fix the plumbing. It wasn't common area. But now he has another HOA issue. So, Kevin, what's the HOA issue right now?
Okay, I just want to give context because since then it has been a very ugly tit for tat with the HOA not being responsive of numerous issues since then, even threatening to.
But what's the issue right now? What's the issue right now?
Okay, so now the issue is that a leak that they patched 5 years ago now has surfaced again, and it's leaking with all the recent rains. And because of the context of our relationship, I repeatedly...
Was it a plumbing leak or a roof leak? Was it a plumbing leak or a roof leak?
No, it's a roof leak. No, it's a roof leak.
So the HOA patched a roof leak a few years ago, and it is now leaking again.
That is correct.
Okay, and so hold on. What's the big deal? Why won't they fix it again?
Well, it's part because of the relationship.
Yeah, but hold on. Is this roof only on your unit, or is this a building problem?
It's on my unit, and it centers around the chimney.
Is it a townhome? Is it a townhome?
No. It's a third floor condo unit.
Okay, so I got to understand this. You're on the top floor of the condo building.
That
Okay.
is correct.
I understand. You're on the top floor, so it's leaking into your unit. And are you saying they will purposely...
That is correct.
They're purposely ignoring it because they don't like you?
That is correct, because what happens is they actually sent me a cease and desist letter just 2 days ago because I keep asking them what's the status, but I'm immune compromised. I'm legally disabled. So I'm concerned that if there's mold or whatever, they give me no answer, and then they then send something to a lawyer.
Well, Kevin,
because what happened is the contractor...
Kevin, listen.
Yes.
They're not going to fix your unit. They're only going to fix the leak. You have to fix from the ceiling in or the drywall in usually. Usually, I would say 99% of the time. Now, if this is an insurance, they're not liable to you just because the roof leaked. That's an act of God, or whatever it is. What I'm saying is,
there's one important factor that I have to mention. So the contractor came to prepare a proposal, and he told me that they've patched it. The problem is really my chimney and the construction around the chimney, that they've never want to address it. They're just patching the roof, but until that's fixed, it's going to keep leaking. So
well, apparently it lasted a few years. The last patch lasted a few years, right?
Right.
I'm not sure
I'm really concerned about my health. I'm concerned about my health because I have respiratory issues now in the last few weeks, pretty bad.
Kevin?
And I've gone.
Are you sure there's black? Have you confirmed there's mold?
No, and that's what I'm calling you about. I don't know who does that.
An environmental scientist. You have to get them to. Hold on. You have to get them to your house to do mold assessment studies. That's what you have to do, and airborne mold. That's the only thing that's going to bother you. The presence of mold does nothing unless the spores are in the air. So you have to do a spore test. How long has it been leaking?
It's been, I guess, about 2 or 3 weeks now.
Okay. Well, listen. Are they going? First and foremost, let's just take one thing at a time. Not your opinions on what should happen, but just the facts. Did they patch it?
I don't know. They won't tell me a status.
Well, you said You said they sent a contractor out, right?
Yes, and he gave them a proposal, and they sent a letter that says they have to look at all options.
Okay.
And the ceilings won't be repaired.
Okay.
But they won't respond. After that, they sent me a lawyer letter.
And what did the
said,
lawyer?
Okay, thanks for
Kevin,
the update.
what did the lawyer letter say?
The lawyer letter is saying that I am disrupting their business by making so many requests about when this is going to get fixed, and I have no right to speak to their contractors about the work that they're doing.
That's right.
So they see
they're correct, Kevin. They're correct. They're saying you're interfering with them. You don't talk to the contractor. The HOA does. Now, what I want to know is this: is there internal damage to your condo?
Yes.
Okay. You have to talk to your insurance company.
It's not. It's minor. It's minor damage.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I don't think you have a mold problem, but you can have it checked. But I want to warn you of something. If there is a mold problem caused by the leak, and the mold is in your unit, you have to do it, not them. You have to distinguish between your unit and what's your responsibility and what is their responsibility. Because if they did not cause the leak, they're not going to cover your condo. You just got to get used to that. And no matter how much you complain,
it seems that they did cause it because of the information I got from the subcontractor.
Well, they didn't cause it. The leak, they did not cause it. What you're saying is they're not properly addressing it, okay? What I'm saying to you is to pay the deductible on your insurance is cheaper than the years of litigation it would take using your own money, because when you fight the HOA, you're basically using your money and the other's money. And you would have to fight the HOA to prove that they were negligent in their approach in fixing the leak, which then led to a condition that caused mold, that caused a health problem, Kevin, and caused damage to your unit. Kevin, I promise you, life is too short, and the battle is not going to be won.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm quite aware of the powerhouse behind HOAs, and I had already decided that. That's why I was asking how to assess mold.
Okay, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Start with American Restoration, 24/7. Just call and talk to Rock. Yeah, you call Rock. Now, I don't know if they do the testing. They may, but I know he'll know people who do it because he's very educated in restoration and everything surrounding restoration, including mold and asbestos. So just call over there, 833 7 8337, and then I'm going to give you the number. It's AM Rest. I hope you can just find the numbers on that. AM Rest. I was trying to find it on my phone to give it to you. Now, yeah, AM Rest would be, I never put the number down, but it's 833 726 726, and then rest, which is 7378.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Let me know what you find out. I'd like to know if there's mold spores after a couple
but
weeks.
I know the reality. I understand the reality of HOA.
It sucks. It doesn't suck, but it does suck.
Yeah,
You know,
I've actually dealt.
yeah.
I've spoken before the General Assembly. I've dealt with.
Well, there's not much you can do about it. Listen,
Wiseman,
it's not going to change.
Right,
It's really not going to change. I got to run. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Brad O'Brien, fighting HOAs. Do people call you about that? It's almost a losing battle because you're using literally part of your own money, because if it runs into the hundreds of thousands or whatever, they're only going to assess the membership. But do you get people that want to sue HOAs?
I get a lot of calls on HOAs, and most condo declarations have a prevailing party attorney fee provision. So if you lose in your fight against the HOA, they'll have to pay your fees and the HOA's fees.
I mean, it can be really expensive and really stupid to do. Now, I'm not telling you shouldn't do it, but maybe you shouldn't do it. I mean, it's a bad deal. The other thing is, most of the time, what they're fighting the HOA about is not legit. The HOA really is them, is what I'm getting at. They have to get involved in meetings and maybe impeachments or whatever, recalls of the officers. I mean, there are procedures spelled out in the bylaws for remedies, right, most of the time?
Yeah, but sometimes the owners do have to push back because of unfairness in how they're treated. Like if you keep getting little fines, like keeping your garbage can out for $100, and then they add attorney fees on top of that.
No, you're right.
It's just not fair. So you do have to push back to some degree.
Yeah, it's better if people push back in groups rather than one. When one fights the HOA, it seems to be very, very hopeless. And anyway, it's a tricky thing. A bad HOA can ruin your entire experience, for God's sakes. Think about that. Today is iHeart Radio Access Day. That means you go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and get unbelievable deals. More coming up. Better late than never.
I push button.
Hey! I know the B team's in. I mean, not the B team, the D team.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Even further down. Right now.
How much time do I have here, Drag?
2 minutes, buddy.
What?
Yep, they've taken out all the lives, so enjoy.
Wait, they were longer during Shannon's break.
Correct.
That is because you were syndicated at that point in time, so they had to fill the empty space with.
So now,
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I can't pee, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
If I pee under my desk, can they see me on YouTube?
Just use the trash can underneath it. Yeah, it's fine.
Just use the bottle.
I'm trying to order a Tesla online, and they won't tell me what they'll give me for a trade. That's bullshit.
What are you trying to trade?
I want to get
the Mercedes or the BMW?
Yeah, the Beamer. I'm tired of it. But they usually tell you what they'll give you for a trade before you bother going through the process. And now they want you to put your deposit down first. Well, that's stupid.
Before they tell you what they'll give you for a trade?
Yeah,
Hell
I mean,
no.
I don't think so. That sounds a little...
Of course, I could end up getting divorced over this. I want to get a Model S white with a beige interior. And I'm not getting the extra big wheels. I learned my lesson there. And I'm not getting run flats, you bastards.
That is damn true.
I have run flats.
Get rid of them.
I don't like them.
They're too
Okay,
hard.
well, get ready for your next flat to buy all 4 tires.
All right, 10 seconds, buddy.
Yes, I know.
Trajan Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Brad O'Brien is with us, O'Brien Legal Services. So, I want to talk to him about some serious problems that seem to be a trend. Okay? Doesn't matter what the unit is, what the name of the place is. I'm just going to tell you this happened twice. A condo development. Let's say a giant building with a bunch of condos has a fire in 1 or 2 of the units, whatever. And they have to basically vacate the building. All right? Now, the people who live there, the homeowners, the condo owners, have insurance. But that insurance will only cover them from the drywall in. The carpeting, the fixtures, the plumbing fixtures, the lighting fixtures, cabinets, counters, all of that. They have homeowners insurance that is limited, right? So they will go from the drywall in. Every owner will go from the drywall in. But in order for that insurance to be invoked, they have to have a structure to go from the drywall in. But the HOA, who is either underinsured or can't muster up the energy or knowledge or know-how, are just doing nothing. So the building, because they're all out of the building now, and people don't know if they should make their dues, and they're making their dues. There's management companies still collecting dues, but no one is rebuilding. Now, it's almost like they're paralyzed. They don't know what to do. So the insurance companies, for the consumers, they get nothing. They get some temporary living expenses, temporary lodging, depending on their coverage. But they can't get their unit back until the building is rebuilt. But no one is lighting a fire to get the building rebuilt. They're all out of the place. It's almost like the HOA is disbanded, but they still have a management company. What the hell do you do in a situation like that? What do you do? No, seriously.
Yeah, this is not a routine HOA issue. It's really more of an insurance law type of issue, which is kind of out of
Well,
my
why
area.
isn't the HOA? One of them is over at, what's the name of the damn place, that round place? Villa. Wait, hold on. I have it in my notes here somewhere, but, do you guys remember, Kachina, that big round, it's giant round complex, and oh my God, so many people were displaced from part of that. And then there's another building where it happened. In any case, I'll think of the name. Valencia, I think it is. Valencia, something like
Club
that.
Valencia.
Yeah.
Club Valencia. I think.
That's what I think it is. Brad, I mean, the individual homeowners don't know what to do.
Well, there is
Who do they go after?
There's an outside chance this condominium may terminate based on the total destruction of the building.
But if it terminated, they lose their equity. They lose everything.
Yeah, that's what insurance is for.
And, okay, so Club Valencia has been out of commission. I mean, I just don't understand how people put up with this crap. So what happens to these people now? That's what I want to know. Okay, it happened in another building. But I want to know why, when a building is heavily destroyed by a fire, in Valencia's, it's not the entire round thing, it's part of it. But if a place is destroyed by fire, the HOA is still intact, the building isn't, but the HOA is, and the management company. Why are you paying dues? I mean, what the hell are the dues being used for?
Well, if not being used, they should just be banked up. So at some point, the board probably ought to reduce the dues if they're not being used.
But are they even having meetings? I don't know how the people don't know how to get in touch with each other. I mean, it's a cluster, you know what? And I don't know, I just don't know what to tell these people when they call for help. You know, we've had calls on this, right? Haven't we had a lot of calls on it?
Yes.
I know it.
At least 2 or 3 on Club Valencia alone.
Gosh, it's really, really terrible. So it's like, what if a group get together and they came to you? Is there anyone to sue? I mean, who do you go to right now? Do you sue the management company? Do you demand answers from them?
Well, I don't do class action type of lawsuits.
It's not. It would be more of a joinder, right? Just multiple defendants. Plaintiffs. Wouldn't it? It wouldn't be class action, would it?
I mean, the board may need to make a claim against the title insurance company. The regular insurance company. And if the board won't act, maybe the unit owners need to bring some type of derivative claim, sort of in the name of the board, on behalf. If the board won't act, I'm just guessing.
And I don't know if it is Club Valencia. I think it is, but I'm trying to think. Yeah. Rebecca called. She called earlier this year. The fire was in November in the building. The HOA insurance is disputing the claim for asbestos cleanup. Okay. And now, so because of this dispute on whether they should cover the asbestos part of it, it's at a standstill. That's one of the problems. And I just think this is terrible. Then we had another one, Ann, the same thing, disputing asbestos. Same thing. My God, it's just terrible. So they can't move back in. Same thing. And we're getting multiple calls. So anyway, who do you sue if they came to you? If 1 or 2 came to you, somebody said, I want to sue somebody. I mean, is it bad faith? I think they should hire a public adjuster to go after the group, the HOA. That's the answer. The management company has to hire a public adjuster, or the homeowners have to hire, not to individually, because they're not, individually, their insurance companies aren't doing anything wrong. They've paid for temporary living. They've paid some cash for loss of clothing and all that. And they're doing what they're supposed to do. The only one doing something wrong here is the insurance company versus the HOA. So the insurance company could be at risk for bad faith if they had someone holding their feet to the fire. So and you don't do bad faith, right? So we would need someone to do bad faith. So someone, or we get Matt. In fact, I want to call Matt at Paragon Services. I want to call him and see, because I know a few of the residents called him over there. And I'm wondering why he doesn't basically solicit the HOA to hire him to represent the entire HOA against their insurance company. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Matt. Can you get him on the phone?
Doing it.
Kachina, thank you. Let's do that. Now, I don't know if I should use my YouTube audience as a barometer of what the audience is thinking, because usually they're a bunch of degenerates. But I get instant feedback from them online, and I like reading it. But I don't know if I could call them a sampling of my audience. What do you think, Brad? If they're watching YouTube, I don't think they would represent necessarily a cross-section, because first of all, they're looking at their computers or phones in the middle of the day watching YouTube, watching me, that rather than listening and working, right? Or me, I don't know, because I don't think you can passively be involved in the YouTube channel. Maybe you can work, maybe you can. But in any case, I'm not sure if I should use them as a sampling, because they're degenerates. So let's find out. Should I explain my Home Depot story again? Because I had people actually email me who thought it didn't happen. And I assure you it did. And I want to recap it. I want to see what you think, Brad. We know that you can walk into Home Depot right now, fill up a cart, and walk out to your car, and they won't stop you. They won't even call police. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, yes, you did. You know about the shoplifting epidemic.
I've seen videos of like in San Francisco.
No, here.
In the Walgreens. But
Oh, no, here.
No.
And you've heard of, for example, King Super shoppers stealing, and when the employees tried to stop them, the employees got fired.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Okay. Well, it's happening in Home Depot, too. It happens all over, and at Lowe's. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Just walking right out with carts. It absolutely is happening in Home Depot. Well, I want to explain something. I went to Home Depot, and I was buying some stuff, and one of the things we were buying for my stepson was a plastic chain, white chain. We were going to hang it from the ceiling in the garage, so when his back window hits it, he knows he's at the right spot, because he has a flat back window on a Jeep. It's a perfect cue. Okay, so I don't trust those lights all the time. So I asked the guy for 5 feet of chain. He hands it to me and gives me the SKU and says, take a picture of it when you go to the checkout. And I go to the checkout. And we were at self-checkout, and I didn't know how to enter the chain because there was no place to put the SKU, or it wouldn't scan on my phone. So the woman comes over, and she says, okay, here it is, tick, 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 tick. How many feet? And I said 5. She went over and measured it. She didn't just put 5 feet and then walk away. She measured it. Came back and said, no, it's 5 feet 7 inches. And I said, well, considering I could walk out with this entire cart and no one would stop me, and I was convinced there was a guy doing it right when I was there, but people are saying, you don't know if he paid, you don't know anything about it. I think he was stealing. However, that doesn't even matter. The fact is, we know it happens. So I said, I could walk out with the entire cart, and you're going to hassle me over 7 inches. In fact, 7 inches I didn't even do. I asked the guy for 5 feet. If he padded it, it's not my fault. I said, take off 7 inches. And she says, I can't do that. You're going to have to go back and do it. And I said, you really are hassling me about 7 inches. She said, well, you can pay for them. And so I couldn't believe it. I'm being stopped for 7 inches of white chain and hassled to pay for it, when, in fact, I should probably get her fired, except they don't want to. I liked her. She doing her job, and thank God she has a job and she shows up for work. She was a really nice young lady, but she was truly, and she wasn't mean about it. She was just saying, I can't condone stealing. And I thought, you all condone stealing. I mean, and I wasn't even stealing. It was a mistake. It wasn't even a mistake. They always do that when you buy. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I since have talked to people who work at these places. When you ask for 6 feet, they give you a little more. I mean, they don't, I don't know, they give you just a little more because they want to be sure you get what you bought. Anyway, again, I can't believe it. I was stopped for 7 inches of white chain, and they said I couldn't leave without paying for it. So, what is the story? Do they pick on people who they think should be paying, and don't pick on others who they think should be stealing? Are they profiling people? What is the story there? Anyway, as I said, it's true. And the whole story has nothing to do with another guy walking out with a cart. I don't care about that. Let's just say that never happened. But I was stopped. Why was I stopped for 7 inches of chain? Why didn't she just put in 5 when I said 5 feet? Why did she go over and measure it and charge me for 5 or 7 more inches? Rather than just think to herself, let's say, 5 inch, putting down 5. For example, I'm going to give you another example. They will stop you and make you go back if you don't pay for the bag, 10 cents. But you can steal. The whole point is the dichotomy, that I can't go out with 7 inches of white chain because I was honest enough to stop, whereas if I didn't stop at all, I could have taken the whole thing. That's really the story. That's really the story. No one I mean, no one can deny, including my YouTube degenerates, no one can deny that people walk out of Home Depot all the time and are not stopped. That's the point. So who do they stop? They stop people at the self-checkout? I mean, I don't know. To me, that was illogical. When I told her I had 5 feet, because that's what the guy gave me, she should have just entered 5 feet. Why did she measure it and insist I pay for 7 inches when people steal every single day? That's the real question. Let me know. Call me. You know, especially, like I said, because I can't possibly use the comments on YouTube as a cross-section of my audience because it's a cross-section of the dregs of society, and I can't do that. They don't match. Anyway, 303-713-8255. By the way, I'm just kidding about the YouTube people. They're not degenerates. A few morons are in there, and who else? And Einsteins, and a few degenerates. We got more coming up. All right. How much time? Because I have to go.
We've got 3 minutes exactly.
All right. I'll do it.
Wowza. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. Yes. Yes.
I'm back. Woo! Did we get Matt?
Yes.
Oh, good.
No.
Love it. I'll go right to him. You said 3 minutes. It's been more than 3 minutes.
You've got 30 seconds left.
It's like plank time. I thought it would go faster.
Exactly.
Plank time goes really slow. Fucking 3 minutes of plank time. I would swear to God I am in a half-hour stance.
Yep.
I got to do that today. Damn it.
All right, 15 seconds, buddy.
All right. Some restrictions apply. Today only. Sell faster for
Exactly.
Duran, therealestateman.com. Remax Alliance.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. Listen carefully. You got a comment? Go ahead, Mike, on Home Depot. Make that comment. Then I'm going to go to Matt with this Paragon Services for this trend I'm seeing with condo buildings. Go ahead, Mike. What's your comment on my Home Depot situation? I hope it's more intelligent than my YouTubers. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, just to recapitulate for the audience, you said before the break, this woman cashier at Home Depot, you said she turned you down for your 7 inches? I don't think that's the first time it's happened. Let's be honest.
Oh, my God, you waited on hold to tell me that? Get off of here. Oh. All right, I'm Tom. Well, let's go to Matt at Paragon Services. God, his head was in the gutter. I didn't even think of that stuff. Now, Matt, Valencia, that Club Valencia that had a fire with condos. I want to ask you, now these people are out, man. They've been out since November. They can't get back in their place. Their own insurance is not screwing them because their own insurance say, we will do your condo from the inside that we're supposed to do, but we can't do the inside until the outside structure is repaired. And they're not repairing the outside structure because the insurance company is arguing with the HOA about the validity of the claim because of asbestos. Are you aware of this, Matt?
Yeah, I have about a dozen clients, unit owners from that property. I've not been allowed access to enter one single unit, and neither has any insurance company that I'm dealing with.
Well, we sent the clients to you, Matt. What I'm asking is this. Maybe you should represent the entire HOA against the HOA's insurance because it's how do you call it? There's a master insurance plan for the building, and then there are individual insurance plans for each resident, right?
Correct. So the HOA hired another public adjuster, so they have one, and they hired several attorneys. So there's a huge legal battle going on against the HOA's insurance carrier.
Okay, so at least they're not at least they're not standing still, right, Matt?
That's right. And the problem is the whole building, the whole complex is all from the 1970s, so asbestos is everywhere. So the trouble becomes, how do you mitigate and abate the common areas and the units without recontaminating? So it's this huge dilemma with logistics on how to do that.
Oh,
I can't do my job if I can't get in there, and so far I haven't been allowed in. So
but Matt, really your job would be each individual homeowner and their insurance company, but for lack of a better term or phraseology, their insurance companies have not yet begun to screw them because they haven't even their own insurance companies haven't even started.
That's right. And my first step here would be to get an environmental hygienist in there to test, even the units that weren't burned, there's bound to be airborne asbestos contamination and smoke damage. Well, we have to do testing to determine the levels of that. Well, those guys haven't even been allowed in either, and they're all certified to get in there. So it's just a waiting game until the lawyers give me clearance, to be quite honest with you.
So this is going to have to go to a hearing or something.
Oh, this is going to federal court eventually.
And these poor people, I mean, like your clients, does their insurance still pay for temporary housing, or is there a limit?
There's a limit, and a lot of these units are rented out. So the actual owners get, quote, loss of use coverage, but a lot of times that's capped out at about $5,000. So they're losing that rental income after a certain point, and their tenants are displaced. It's just a mess, total mess.
Okay, I agree, and I thought you would. God, I just didn't realize it was such a mess. But I'm happy to hear at least that the HOA hired people to help them. Do you know the public adjuster that the HOA hired, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, I do know him, and I've been talking with him. We're trying to work in tandem to get some traction and get these people taken care of.
Good.
They do have some heavy hitter lawyers involved.
Good.
And my whole goal is just each individual unit owner obviously has their own insurance policy that covers usually from the sheetrock inward.
Right.
And all their contents. But a lot of these policies are kind of they're capped out at 15,000-20,000. So my goal is just to max that out as much as possible.
Oh, my
And get
goodness.
these people back in there. It's really a tragic situation. But again, I'm waiting for the green light to even get access. The other part of this, the 1-2 punch, is that the people are looting the property. So all these people that are not allowed into their own units, now they're finding, they're kicking in the windows and they're taking their stuff, and the cops aren't doing much about it. It's I wish I could sprinkle some fairy dust on it and make it all better, and I'm doing my very best to do that. But yeah, it's rough stuff over there.
All right, thank you very much. That's Matt at Paragon Services, 719-726-0020, paragonservices.com. If you need help with, by the way, insurance claims. Now, Jim has a question on oil well royalties. Jim, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. My mom passed last year, and one of the things that we did not get quit claimed out of her name to, one of her heirs was 4 different oil lease royalties in Texas.
All right.
And she owns a very small percentage of these, of these total leases.
I understand, but those small percentages can add up. They can be a few grand a month.
Well, so I just looked at the numbers from the 1099s from 2022, and it's like in the $700 to $800 range, and I've been handling her taxes for the past 5 years.
Okay, $700 or $800 range for each one. So she's right. Is that what you're talking about?
No, sorry, Tom. $700 to $800 total for all 4 for 2022 on the 1099.
Okay.
So I've been contacted. And, of course, there's a small amount of property tax that has to be paid every year. I think it's like between the 4, it's less than maybe $50.
Right, it's pennies, right. That's right.
Yeah. So I've had somebody contact me and offer me $2,000 for all 4 of these. And I have no experience because I don't personally own any royalties.
Do you know how many acres those 4 represent, by the way?
Not off the top of my head. She owns like 0.4% of something.
She made $700 all year on all 4?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? That $2,000 I was going to say, that's not a bad thing. So what you do, here's what you do. You take to find value, you take the total. Are you an accountant, by the way?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm an engineer.
All right. You know how to do percentage. You take the return she's getting, which is $700, right? And then you put a return on whatever the person is buying at $2,000. So 700, I'm not going to do it in my head, but 700 would be almost like a third of that, right? It's like a 33%, right?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that person wants a big return on his $2,000, and you can decide if you want to give it to him. Now, usually people are satisfied with about 15% on those wealths, but so you have to do the math on what you want to sell it for. But you can sell it for anything you want. It's not worth a lot, but if it truly is yielding $700 a year, let's say, $700 a year. So what are you willing to pay to get a return of $700 a year? For example, if you paid $1,400, now you're getting a 50% return, right? So okay, so if you pay $2,800, I believe the math works out, you're getting 25%. So you go up to the point where you're giving someone a decent return, but not too much of a return, and see if they'll pay. This guy will probably pay a little more, not much more. And do you know how long the leases are? Do you know? There's so many variables. If you just want to get rid of it, get rid of it.
Well, she got these from her companion when he died about 5 or 6 years ago. He was very heavily into oil.
The truth is, it's worth whatever somebody wants to pay for it. There is no magic formula. Let me tell you something. Okay. I've been trying for years and years and years and years to figure out what I should sell my stuff for, and there's no answer. It's whatever you can get, because I have thousands of acres, and they yield a lot of money, so you have to figure what it's worth. And I've never actually, it's a long story. In order to sell something properly, you have to know the basis. You don't even know what the basis is. And that's the problem. When people own oil well royalties, there is no way to figure out a basis because you don't know how many wells, you don't know how many acres, you don't know. So when you cut off a piece and sell it, you could be selling the best part for the lowest price, or you could be selling the worst part for a great price. And that's the one weakness to royalties, is when you want to sell them, figuring out how much you sell them for and come out ahead at the end, because you have to have the basis of each well. And no one can do that. And I've not figured out, there's no software, there's nothing. In your case, it's easy because you have just 4, and it's easy because you know you have 4 and it's yielding a certain amount of money, so go and sell it. That's, and get whatever you want. So if you're looking for a magic formula, there is none really. Actually, there is none. 303-713-8255. We got to take this quick break.
Another 3 minutes, buddy.
All right.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. Okay, I will pass that along. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. I'm starting to get tired, Dragon.
Yep, about that time. All right, 15 seconds, Tom.
Duran, the real estate man. RE/MAX Alliance. Proven results with every listing. Deep house cleaning with windows. Expert staging. Stunning photos. Virtual tours. All for a low, low commission. 3.9%. iHeartRadio Access Day. And Frank Duran, the real estate man. Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Now, we are talking about, now Adam has an HOA issue. I believe this is a new one. Go ahead, Adam. What's going on with you?
Tom. It's not really an issue yet. I had a question that was sparked by your insurance conversation about a damage, and insurance goes from the drywall in.
Yes.
So my mom lives in a retirement community, a big one from the 60s, and they just got a letter from their HOA saying they have to replace a couple of mixing valves for the 2 bathrooms that they have. And, and that's going to be a pretty expensive project. So my question is if it's on the other side of the drywall, the HOA side of the drywall, does my mom have to pay for that, or shouldn't that be an HOA?
That's going to be one of those hazy areas, but I have to ask you, why did she get a letter they have to replace it? Why?
I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't just her; it was her entire building.
Okay, so
like
they must have
building.
gotten word. They must have gotten word that there are faulty valves that they have to replace to keep the place from flooding, and they're trying to do their due diligence. If that's the case, really, this is up for grabs, because here's why. If your mom insists it's not her and the other residents insist it's not theirs because it's outside the drywall, while they might be technically correct, they can simply come back and assess people for the expense. So,
okay.
In other words, if they run short of money anyway, they're going to assess each homeowner. And each homeowner in that building would have to pay toward it anyway, so it's kind of going to come out either way. How much did they say it's going to cost?
She's got to get quotes, so she's like...
Wait. They're requiring each one to do it?
That's the way it sounds, yeah.
That is questionable. Bradley, that's a good... Brad O'Brien's real estate attorney. Brad, you're technically in a townhome, not responsible. Well, although water heaters and stuff like that gets hazy. What do you think about the mixing valve on the other side of the drywall, but it goes to her shower? That's really a weird one, isn't it?
Well, the HOA declaration specifies, or it should, who's responsible for what. Okay?
Including plumbing fixtures, doesn't it?
Plumbing is usually addressed separately. And normally the way they're written, it's if this plumbing serves just your unit, you're going to be responsible as the homeowner. But if the plumbing serves multiple units, the HOA is
okay, I can see that. He's right. Even though it's from the drywall in, that's usually talking about carpeting and drywall and cabinets and countertops and plumbing fixtures, by the way. But they could define plumbing fixtures as any kind of faucet or fixture that serves that unit. You should look at the bylaws if you have any questions, Adam. That's what I would say to do. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Steve has a roof issue. Steve, what's going on with you and your roof?
Hey, Tom. It's actually my mother-in-law's roof. I'm a long-time, lifetime listener, and I need your opinion and help.
What's going on?
The hailstorm on the 18th of May damaged my mother-in-law's roof, and I've had 2 roofers out and say, yes, there's damage. So we are going to meet with the insurance adjuster on Sunday and get his take on it. Well, part of the damage stemmed from a gutter downspout separating from an extension down at the ground level, which then gushed water into a window well and flooded part of a downstairs room.
That's not going to be covered, man. The water damage.
That's what I'm asking. That's why I called you. They're calling it surface water.
Yeah. Once water hits the surface, no matter where it comes from, and it flows into the house, unless you have flood coverage, it's not covered.
Gotcha. Tom,
And that sucks.
One quick comment on the 7 inches. Just start kinking that chain up and wrapping it, and it'll be down to 6'2", and then you don't have to pay as much.
I can't believe the comments I'm getting on this. You ought to go to YouTube if you want to hear the really good ones. Anyway, we got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK. Good news. So that one was weird. They damaged the mother-in-law roof. Okay, so that one, but it's not going to be covered. I'm telling you, man, when water hits the ground, you're done.
Water time.
All right. Let's see what the hell is going on in your life. All right, this is my email. Holy shit, do I have a lot of it? I got a lot of stuff. Oh, my stuff was delivered. Hold on, I gotta go out and get it. Right outside my door. Better go. Well, yeah, I have time. Oh,
Yay! I can go get water.
Okay.
Try not to. Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a quick moment.
All right. I can get things faster from Amazon than shopping. I swear to God, I order it, it's on my door the next day. I don't even bother anymore going to a store and not finding shit. I'm so tired of it.
I'm here.
Yay. Frank did not have called back yet. Unless that's him.
Okay.
Hey, I'm going to be in tomorrow, Kachina.
Good afternoon. Thanks for
10
calling the Tom
seconds, buddy.
Martino Show. How can I help you?
New users only. $150 minimum purchase. Can only be redeemed once. Cannot be combined with any other promo.
The real value of your home. Free analysis. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Remax Alliance.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. And don't forget, CentryRV.com will get you new and used RVs, wonderful RVs. Oh, my God, I love these RVs. Whether they're fifth wheels, the new fifth wheel has no step-up bedroom. It's all on one level like a motorhome, and then they have this storage that goes across up to where it hooks to your truck. It's just unbelievable. You have to see it to believe it. And they're called River Ranch is one brand. Anyway, Century RV has all the new stuff. I-25 and exit 240. 303-453-1111. Hey, let's talk. We got all kinds of things going on. We've been talking with Brad O'Brien for real estate, had a lot of HOA issues. And I've always said one of the toughest things to do is fight an HOA. And Brad, the reason I say that is because HOAs usually will go after you for attorney's fees. And when you're fighting them, part of it is your money. Because if it turned out to be a big damage or a big lawsuit, you could technically be paying an assessment for what you just did. You know?
Yeah, attorney fees owed to an HOA are also a lien against your property.
So what do you ever take on those HOA problems?
Yes, I do work individual issues, both for and against HOAs.
And it does help sometimes, but it's what I call an uphill battle. I mean, there might be some slam dunk issues. But in any case, an update of that Club Valencia that had the fire, the good news is the HOA did hire a public adjuster to go after the insurance company because the insurance company is balking on paying the additional losses for the asbestos contamination and the asbestos cleanup because it's such an old building and only part of it was destroyed by fire. They have to build that up, mitigate the asbestos. Then the homeowners can get in there with their own insurance to fix their individual condos from the drywall in. It is a mess. So all the individual homeowners have to wait for the building to be built, but the building can't be built because the HOA's insurance is fighting them. So there is a public adjuster involved, though, and that's good news. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, is celebrating iHeartRadio Access Day.com. It's the first time we've ever done this nationwide. All iHeart properties. We're bragging about this because it's a special landing page. And when you get on there, you look for special deals. And all of our sponsors, or many of them, have great deals on there, including Frank Duran, the real estate man. And what Frank has said to do is he's going to take the first 10 clients that actually sign up to do it. He'll take more names than 10, but then he will limit it to 10 listings who actually agree to it and do it for just 3.9%, which is unheard of, especially when you consider what Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, what he does on his listings. Let's go over what it includes, Frank.
Hey, Tom, yes. So it includes a professional deep house cleaning, including interior windows and appliances, carpet stretching, carpet cleaning if necessary, professional staging. The only restriction really there is that they would need to sign the staging agreement to allow permission for the company to put furniture in their property. State-of-the-art professional high-definition magazine-grade style photos with 3D virtual tours. It's very Zillow-friendly, by the way, and floor plans, which shows all the dimensions of the rooms. It's a really neat deal. Also, we have our full team support. I personally negotiate the deal, but I have a great seasoned veteran team backing me up, and advanced marketing, home leading-edge technology, and, of course, on top of that, we back it all up by a written performance guarantee, and we put all the skin in the game up front, Tom. I say it's like that old saying, don't tell us you love us, show us you love us, so we're going to show the love, Tom.
All right, Frank, this is wonderful, and you're going to do this all day, and then of course the first 10 full listings you get, they're going to get this special deal. That's what.
Absolutely, and
that's incredible.
And it's been great. We're getting pretty close to maxed out, Tom. So I'll tell you what, though, we're jumping on it. We're calling people back right away.
Thank you. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. So I went to this iHeartRadio Access Day page here, and you got to pick the state first and then the market. So when you come to Colorado, you can pick, the Springs, Denver, Fort Collins, Pueblo. So I picked Denver. Then when you get Denver, you get all our people here, including Frank Duran, the real estate man. You pick the deal, whatever deal you want, and it's pretty cool. Or you can shop by category. Yep. And I think it's stellar anyway. So that's it, and you find a deal. Okay, Brad O'Brien. So on real estate, let's go back to real estate. When people go to a closing, they never read all the documents. Never. No one does. Okay, no one does. So they need an attorney, but when there are standard contracts, can you trust them if you're familiar with them, is what I'm saying. In other words, do you have to read each and every word? I mean, very seldom would they take a standard contract and insert something in it. And if they did, you could probably say it was fraud in the inducement or something, right? If they took a standard contract and deviated from it.
Yeah, if I see a custom contract, I have to read every single word, every single line.
Right.
Like, for example, a builder contract.
Right.
You have to read that start to finish.
Right.
You have to have an attorney do that.
Right.
In my advice, that's the way I
But
feel.
does Colorado have a standard?
Yes, in our state we do have a standard contract form approved by the Colorado Real Estate Commission, which I think is very fair to both buyer and seller. It's well drafted by real estate attorneys in Colorado, and I use it all the time. Okay,
and so when you have a standard one, if you deviate from it or put extra conditions in it, you have to have that obviously acknowledged by the people. But it does happen where people you take a standard contract, but you put some extra wording in it here or there, additional provisions, right?
Right. There's an additional provisions paragraph on the last page. You can also attach an addendum with provisions. And I think those should be drafted by either the party or an attorney.
All right. So, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ed has a question on hail damage. Go ahead, Ed. What's happening?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good. What's going on with you, man?
I just bought a house back in September. The house was built in 75, I believe. And on my splash guards, I had to replace some gutter downspouts. On my splash guard, a couple of them I see, like black runoff from the splash guard. I had a guy come by the house the other day. We had a couple of people in the neighborhood that had some folks to come out and look at their roofs.
Yeah, it's definitely from your roof, sir. It definitely roof damage.
Okay. Well, what do I need to watch out for when these guys come? Because I have an appointment.
Well, if you have someone from my referral list, you don't have to watch out for anything. You can just compare them. You can shop a few people on the referral list. If you have someone I don't know come out, there's a whole bunch of things you have to, whole bunch. First and foremost, don't sign anything. If they want to look at your roof, they look at your roof. You should never have to sign anything to let them look at your roof. That's number one. Number two, if they want to propose a contract to you, it must have each and every detail. I'm including materials, labor, everything that they're going to do for you. Never, ever, ever go with a roofer who puts on the contract an open-ended contract that says something like this: we'll do whatever insurance company pays or whatever insurance company recommends or whatever it needs. Nothing hazy. It's got to be detailed, because too many roofers make deals with adjusters to get the job, and you may not get everything you need. You want a roofer who's going to tell you up front what you need. Got it? So that's the other thing. And then the other thing is, I personally would never go with a roofer that takes money up front.
Oh, no. That's definitely not going to happen.
So there you go. I told you what to look out for. Who are the roofers you're having coming out?
Valor, I think the name of it is Valor. Supposedly they're a military-owned operation, 5 years out, and local. The thing that's getting me is that...
Well, make sure they're local. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not local, by the way. I'm saying make sure of that, okay?
Yeah, and I will follow
because
you
a lot of
because
companies have a local name that's been around for years and they've sold to other companies. And again, I did not tell you that's them. I'm saying you want to watch out for it.
Right. Now, would gutters be included in that? Because the guy said gutters would be included.
Well, if they do it, yes. Sometimes you need two companies. Many times one company does it. It depends on what they do. I mean, some companies will do both, yes.
But would that be covered under the hail damage clause?
If the gutters were damaged by hail, yes.
Okay.
If they
right.
weren't damaged and you just want new gutters, then you'd have a little fight on your hands.
Right. That part I understand. Okay. Well, that makes perfectly good sense. I appreciate it, Tom.
Yeah, and I hope listen. Just compare more than one and don't sign anything unless you understand every single aspect of it. Manuel, what's going on with you? What's happening?
Yes, sir. I had a question. I don't know what can I do about.
What's happening?
I have concrete breaking off in my driveway and in my garage.
How old is the concrete? How old is the concrete?
I'm going to say 6 months.
Okay. So who'd you hire to do it?
I hired my brother's friend.
Okay.
But I don't know if I go after him or after the concrete company.
Well, hold on now. Hold on. You said your brother's friend. So there's a company that you hired or just some people?
There's some people with the company. He got a company. He has a company.
Okay, so you hired, you hired a contractor to do concrete.
Yes, sir.
And it's failing. Is it failing? Tell me the problems.
It's just breaking off. You see cracks like breaking off.
Is it spalling? Like, is the surface crumbling?
No, not yet. But you can see breaking like cracks.
Cracking, okay. How many cracks? I mean, a ton. Are there a lot of them?
I see in one spot. I see like 4, and one like going like across.
Listen. Would you call it? Let me ask you this: would you call it hairline cracking?
No, I haven't called them.
No, I know. I'm asking. Is it a hairline crack? Are they very thin cracks? Or are they big cracks?
I'm saying small ones. You can see it like a little bigger than a hair, you know?
Yeah, that's going to be... That happens a lot. But are pieces actually coming off or crumbling or anything like that yet?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, I wouldn't panic about that. How many are there? Are they all over the place?
In one spot, you can see it like an X, pretty much like an X, and they go like maybe 3 feet apart.
Yeah.
Each eye.
You might listen. Sometimes sections fail. I don't know how good or bad these guys are. You're welcome to send us a picture, and we'll send it to our expert, Can you take a picture of it?
Yes, sir, I will. Where can I send it to you?
Hold on.
Kelly.
Kelly's going to tell you right now. So, Kachina, get on the phone with him and have him snap different. I don't want just tight shots. I want to see it. I want to see the job, and I want to see the cracks. Take a few pictures and send them to us. And Kelly will give you all that information. And then we'll be able to get maybe one of our experts on to analyze it. Let's do that. 303-713-8255.
Expert, okay? Okay, no problem, Manuel. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, turned on my sprinkler yet this year.
Everything.
What's your monthly dues?
Holy storm, Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 2 HOAs?
All right, 15 seconds there, Tom.
All right.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 K-How, an iHeartRadio station.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We have room for calls now. Lines are open. We've been pretty busy today. And we've been talking about a lot of real estate issues here and there, a lot of HOA issues here and there. iHeartRadio Access Day, of course, being the landing page for a bunch of deals from sponsors. It's the first one ever, iHeartRadio Access Day. We'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue. I have some stories that I wanted to get to. There's a little lull, so I can get to it. And it's pretty important. First of all, I want to talk about, where is it? Do you know, we're talking about real estate, what homeowners consider critical when they buy a house? What do you think the first thing is they consider, Brad O'Brien, when they buy a house? Now, you do real estate law, but you don't necessarily talk to them before they put a contract in or give them advice on what to buy. You might give them advice on areas that have had plenty of lawsuits and stuff like that with condos and stuff. But what do you think the number one priority is?
Proximity to where they need to be for work or school?
Believe it or not, it's not. That's way down. You know, it's safety. Safety. They don't want to be near unsafe areas for crime and all of that. What do you think? Now, this, I mean, I find this shocking. That's the number one priority, is safety. Well, no, I find the second one shocking, because I would think schools and all that. No. Number one, safety. What do you think number two is?
Curb appeal?
Nope. High-speed internet. I'm not kidding you, by the way. High-speed internet. It's right here. I mean, this is a survey. And okay, what do you think else? Okay, we'll see what else. The third thing. No, I can't believe it. So the first thing is safety. That's okay. High-speed internet's the second priority. The third priority, cell phone service. Because they don't want a landline. The fourth is the cost. The fifth is their proximity to work. That's the fifth, after safety, high-speed internet, self-coverage, and cost. Then, access to amenities. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe parks and recreation. Okay. And then proximity to food and shopping. And then quiet. That's down at the low end. Can you believe that? I mean, I find it really cool to learn this stuff. And the name of the website, Whistle Out. I don't know what they do. Whistleout.com. Isn't this funny? They're a cell phone company, so they obviously like the idea that cell phone coverage is a high priority. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, ink. You know what ink is, right? Tats? Do you have any tattoos? Anyway.
Not a single one.
Yeah, I unfortunately got one years ago on the upper arm. I should show it, but I'm not going to. Anyway, it's a microphone on fire. My problem is my system absorbs the ink too much, and I don't keep them. They fade. They look like crap. By the way, our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So why am I telling you all this about ink? Because in Europe, they have banned, the whole European Union has banned a certain inks because of cancer. They linked cancer to a certain amount or a certain type of ink. Okay, you can read about it. I'm not going to go through all the pigments and all that, but there are a bunch of there are thousands of pigments that cause cancer. They're like certain ones. They won't mean anything to you if I name them. You really got to dig deep in the bushes for this. But they say that the two main ones are blue, and I don't know what blue 15-3 means. It's a ratio, and I don't know what green 7 means. Maybe if you're into tats, you'll know this. These are two inks that make up 70% of tattoo designs. The two pigments create blues and greens and reds and purples and all of that. And it says that they have banned it. And they've even banned it in hair color. So apparently, this is big news in Europe. And I want to know if the American tattoo artists, if they know about it, or if they even care about it. And how would you even know what kind of ink? Maybe, like I said, there are people with tattoos that know about it. They say that the tattoo inks do not directly cause cancer, but it's the act of it's certain parts of the pigment interacting with the skin because you're directly injecting it. God, that's crazy. It's only when the ink is broken down by UV light. Wow. So when you have a tat and it gets sun, is what they're saying, if it has these certain pigments, they can cause cancer. I don't even know how the hell they got to this. But in any case, what they're saying is if you do have these inks, use sunblock or keep them out of the sun. 303-713-8255. I find that really weird, but very enlightening. So, do you know how to tell what pigment you have or what kind? I don't. But and by the way, it's not banned in the U.S. It only is happening in Europe. You know, I find, by the way, even with cleaning products and other things, that Europe is ahead of us when it comes to safety of products. Really, they are. They ban stuff way sooner than we do. And then on the other hand, when it comes to meds and medical procedure, they approve things faster. There are like some back procedures I've been waiting for to get approved here that are approved in Europe, all over Europe, and they're wonderful. Yet in America, it takes forever for this to get done. And the same thing goes for banning substances. I know there are a lot of cleaning products we have here in the United States that you cannot use in Europe because of the pollution in the water, drains, pollution on in the air, and the danger it causes for exposure to humans. 303-713-8255. We've got more right after this.
I thought they linked red coloring to cancer.
Like that red dye number something.
Yeah, right. Isn't that why the M&Ms didn't come in a certain color? Until just recently.
What's that?
M&Ms
could be. That could be.
I already know how to make Caesar salad. That would be wasted on me.
All right, 15 seconds there, Tom.
To iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. Look for Frank Duran. 3.9% commission. Some restrictions apply. Today only. No one does it better. Sell fast, more cash. Frank Duran, the real estate man. RE/MAX Alliance. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So, certain tat ink can cause cancer when exposed to UV light. And we're going to talk about some common scams. Tech support scams are on the rise. This is important. Someone calls you, or you get something in your computer that tells you to call because you have a virus, or sometimes they call you and they're from Microsoft, or they say they're from Microsoft or somewhere else. And the whole goal there is to access your computer. So by remote software, they access your computer. They go so far as to put up listen to this, fake web pages. So when you search for help on a technical issue, maybe with a piece of software you have or hardware, you get this website that looks legit. You don't check the URL, but it looks legit, like from the company that has your product or knows about the service you want to correct. And they offer free technical assistance. And when you call them or link to them, they ask if they can see the problem or connect to your computer, or they do it without you knowing it. And then take control in order to fish out information about bank accounts or anything valuable, or identity. That is very, so please be careful with tech support. Make sure that you are originating the call always, and always to the right people. Always. Now here's another one. A lot of people feel that this second party or second verification, two-factor verification, is a good thing, and it is. In other words, have you ever logged into an account and it says, we're going to text your cell phone? I love it. But listen to this one. You get people that call you and say that there is a problem with your account, either a credit card account, a bank account, a savings account, something to do with money, even an investment account. And they call you because there's a two-factor authentication. So they're calling you, and they already know your email address, which is usually the username. And if they put in the email address and a password, they ask for an authentication. But what they do is they call you, and I forgot exactly how it works, but I know what it is. They have your cell phone number, and what they say is they're going to text you. They already know your username and password, and how they get that I don't know, but they call you and say, now to make sure it's you, we want to help you with this problem, and it's a problem you never knew you had. They say, we want to make sure it's really you. So you're thinking, wow, this is legit. They want to make sure it's really me. So they say, we're going to text you a code, and we want you to send it back. So here's what they do. They go to log on, and when they go to log on, this person on the phone with them, the real person who has the account, gets the code. They give the code to the scammer on the other end of the line, and the scammer now has everything they need to get into the account. And they say, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, we see an unauthorized trouble. Whatever they do, they do. You go away fat and happy thinking, I just averted a problem. And you think it's authentic because you had to give them a code. What you actually did was gave them the code that you were just texting because they're trying to log in. They log in, and you can lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this one story I read, a woman lost like $150,000 doing that because it was to her account. The other one, utility scams. People are coming to homes or calling them. If they come to your home and they want to check your utility, your meter and all of that, they use that to find out and to case your home. The other one is posing as your utility company. You get a text or email, and they say you have to pay your invoice, and they give you a link to pay it. And, of course, the link is a payment site that looks very legit, but the payment doesn't go to the legit site. It goes to the scammer. So it's a legit site right down to where you pay, but that click sends the money somewhere else. I've always been amazed. Gosh, I'm amazed at how people think up new scams and how new scams are perpetrated. This fake rental thing, I reported on this years ago. And here's what happens. They They have things for rent online, houses, condos, whatever. And they even meet you there. I mean, there might be, here's the thing. They say you can't get in today because such and such. But they take a down payment to keep you, priority. But they don't even own the place. They may not even live around the area, but they pose as the owner or the management company. And you're giving a deposit so you can get in there and look at it and have first crack at it. And people are so anxious to rent, they do it. Or they have a fake website where you put a deposit down. And sometimes it's a deposit of first month's rent, or better yet, an application fee. One guy knew that someone was going to be on vacation and actually met people with applications and charged an application fee. Now listen to this. It was a $75 application fee. He had 100 people come by that day and hand out applications. That's 75. This guy made $7,500, or not seven. Yeah, $7,500 in one day, standing outside a property he didn't even own. I mean, is that incredible? And then you go back, or you wait to hear if you're a candidate for this. It's a fake application. He didn't even own the place. I'm Tom Martino. More coming right up.
75 crimes in one day.
Think about this, though. Think about it. I mean, look, people are so trusting.
Yeah.
They
All right,
get a
that's
real
on time.
application.
All right, we're still good. Across to 45. All right.
People don't. Application fees are very.
I'm okay too.
Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of balls to do that.
What's that?
Takes a lot of balls to do something.
Oh
like
my
that.
God!
Commit 75 crimes in one day.
Tom, did you say you were coming in tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
I might be a little tiny. I don't mean late by 10. I mean late like 9:45.
Car day.
Good news, everyone.
Huh? I mean,
My son's trying to get me traded.
I love my BMW. It's beautiful. I'm upset with mine. I didn't. It's a giant car. X7. I rushed into
Good to spiel, Sasha.
my G-Wagon was worth so much that I was able to sell it and buy a really expensive car. So I went, instead of just buying my own BMW in the next 5 years,
iHeartRadio.
money for money. So that's what I did.
Why are we doing Busch Gardens in SeaWorld?
Yep.
The spots have been really weird today, I gotta tell you.
What can I get for this? You know, with no money. What can I get for it? So I don't know why I did it. I mean, so in my mind, I was converting a 4-year-old car to a brand new car. And the brand new car I could get expensive. Because it's the first time in history when these cars went up so much that you were able to, God almighty, they were beating out the nose for these cars. So I was able to make kind of stupid.
So it's just too big. Not something about the quality.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pissed off at like the tires and all that. How expensive they became.
You don't go get service for less than $1,000 for anything.
No. Now it's still under warranty, so I didn't pay for service. But the wheels were outrageous, the tires were outrageous, and I'm afraid of it because it's a big giant car, 6,000 pounds. But it's a beautiful SUV. There's nothing wrong with it. And even though the G-Wagon is still more expensive, it's better car wasn't. The G-Wagon doesn't come close to quality to it. It's just your status. But
All right, 15 seconds, Tom.
House cleaning with windows, expert staging, stunning photos, virtual tours, all for a low, low commission, 3.9%. iHeartRadio Access Day, and Frank Duran, the real estate man. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm running a little late, but we are taking calls on any and all topics today, and it is iHeartRadioAccessDay.com, and we're directing people to this page where they can go and get special deals. Now, here's the thing. When you are talking about real estate and closings and reading documents and scams, there was a scam at one time that, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I don't know, Bradley, if you remember this. There was a title company years ago. Do you remember it? There was a title company that received checks, and I did not realize this, but the checks are made out to the title company, and the title company puts it in their account and then pays off certain things. Now, this is how it used to be. I don't know if it's still like that. So at the closing, the cashier's check or whatever it is, the title company takes the checks and then distributes the money, or is supposed to pay off they literally get releases of deeds of trust and all of that under the trust. And I don't know why we trust titles so much, but we do. And this one title company, the owners actually took off. This was in Denver, and it was not, I would say, more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. I covered it not on 4, but on Fox. I was at Fox at the time. So I was at Channel 4 until about 90, until 2002, maybe 2000, somewhere around there. And then I went from there to Fox 31, and that's where I covered it. So it was a while ago. But they took the cashier's check, they deposited it in their account, but instead of paying off the mortgages, they had a bunch of closings and took all the money. Does that ring a bell?
No, not that one. I know of another one that went out of business around 2008.
But what happens when they go out of business?
Well, a lot of title companies are agents for larger title companies. So if
Right.
an agent goes out of business, you still have title insurance through the bigger title company that's been around for 100 years.
But what about the actual closing transaction? Did they go out of business and keep any monies, or did they just go out of business and people didn't have coverage?
Well, title insurance companies are supposed to have insurance for malpractice and errors and omissions.
Right.
So if they go out of business, there should be insurance to cover and claim against them.
But I see a lot of people. Let me take a Mike real quick. You have a comment on scammers, Mike. Go ahead. I wanted to ask you about title insurance because it's hazy. People don't understand what they're buying. They really don't. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, Tom, before I get to that real quick, I couldn't listen to the close of the show yesterday, but please tell me you didn't buy anything from Home Depot after the way you were treated.
Well, I actually needed this stuff. I did buy that chain, and I paid for the extra 7 inches. I did buy it. Listen, this girl was trying to do her job. I don't know. Maybe I should have been happy that at least she cared that much. I don't know. I have no idea, though, why anybody cared that much, because they're not even supposed to stop shoplifters. So I don't get the whole thing. But anyway, what about scams? Do you know of any, or do you have comments?
Well, yes. So there's a YouTube channel called Scammer Payback, hosted by a guy named Pierogi, where he pretends to be an
A victim.
elderly grandma, disguises his voice,
Yeah.
and takes over the scammers' computers, downloads their lists, deletes their files, and actually calls people that have been contacted by phone that day to warn them it's a scam. And
How does he get into their computer?
Because they get into his computer through AnyDesk or some of those other remote apps.
And he knows how to
And
go
he doesn't
two-way
know-
with that?
Yes, and downloads videos of them, pictures of them, all of their files, deletes their files. It's absolutely fascinating to watch him work.
Oh my God! So Mike, let me get this straight. When somebody gets access to your computer by these remote programs that rip people off, you can actually tunnel back to their computer?
If what this guy Pierogi is doing is accurate, and I don't know.
He
I'm
probably,
not
maybe he's some, he's probably some hacker who knows how to do it, a hacktivist. And if he does that, that is brilliant. You know what? We should try to get him on the show. Do you know where he's out of?
He's got an East Coast accent. You might try contacting him through the Scammer Payback YouTube channel.
Okay. You know, Kelly, you're pretty talented at getting people and contacting and finding contact. So it's Scammer, it's on YouTube, and the name of the channel is Scammer Payback, right? Came right up. Let me see. So and his name is, he's the guy with a baseball cap and bearded and all that?
Yes, Pierogi.
I don't see his name here, but if I don't want to click on it and get sound. Let me put my computer off. I'll put my computer sound
just
off.
a disclaimer, Tom. The scammers, once they are onto him, use some pretty choice language.
No, that's why I have the sound off. Oh, we got to try to get this guy on. I mean, he's a hacktivist. I mean, he knows how to do what he's doing into their. Yeah, he destroys a whole call center full of spammers. A whole call center. I wonder how he did it. He gathered enough call center information, and he got into their system. Oh my God, that's fun. That's really fun.
And he's getting these people arrested in India.
Come on, man. That is so cool. Hey, how the hell, though, does he have a 3-hour? How does some of these things, they keep you on for, you watch this thing for 3 hours? Is that, so he actually broadcast the entire thing being done?
Yeah, and you just got to fast forward through a lot of that.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But they go so far as to pay him too much money. Then he's supposedly got to go to his bank and
got it, yeah.
have him wire the funds back, but they stay on the phone with him while he's supposedly driving to the bank.
I love it. You know, we've done some crazy things on this show, but obviously we don't have the leeway to do that, or we can't, because he records all this. It's not live, right? I got to
think he has some live sessions.
All right. I got to take this break. Thanks for telling me about it. Hey, Kachina, he's got like a handle. I think you can message him. Let's really, honest to God, let's try to get him on the show.
I found his email address.
Oh, man, you're the best. We got more coming right up.
Keep going. No break.
Oh, no break. Oh, good.
We good.
I didn't know that. I don't have a break. Okay.
Correct.
Let me take Tim. Tim, go ahead. What's going on with you, Tim?
Good afternoon, Tom.
Hey.
Last week, my wife... Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last week, my wife received a phone call from somebody who claimed to be from the Federal Trade Commission.
Uh-oh.
Long story short, I could tell it was a scam. Unfortunately, I walked in while she had been on the phone with somebody for about 45 minutes already.
Uh-oh.
But it was a pretty elaborate scam. They were supposedly calling her to let her know that one or more of her accounts had been breached by fraud artists, and they had already spent a bunch of money.
I'll bet you they were going to do the one where they text her the code. They say, hey, we're texting you a code, and that was probably because they were trying to, did they do that yet?
Well, I don't think it got to that point, probably because I walked in, and the guy had an obvious East Asian accent, Indian or Pakistani.
Yeah.
And he said his name was Tom Smith or something like that. So I asked him, where were you born, Tom? And he said he lived in Washington, D.C., but he would not answer anything straight that explained why he had an East Asian accent if he was American. But in any event.
Let me ask you something, though, Tim. Was your wife falling for it, or was she just listening to it?
She was mostly listening to it, but she was like halfway to falling for it. But fortunately, she had not given them any personal information, like social security number, etc.
Yeah.
But what it was leading up to it, they explained that there were all these bad things that had already happened, including something to do with child pornography. Like she was going to get blamed because somebody else used her account to buy child porn or something like that. But the punchline was that they wanted her to open a so-called secure account with them, and what was going to happen next was she was going to connect all of her financial accounts, and she has several, and all of that money would have gone into this so-called secure account, and they would have stolen all of it, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay, here's something I always wondered, Tim. You talked about a secure account. You know, there was this app, and it's still around, I think, called Truebill. And Truebill is a company that says they'll go through all of your credit card charges and find recurring charges and subscriptions and little things that are known scams, and or alert you to duplicates or this or that. And it has rave reviews, right? But here's what I don't understand. I swear to God, when I went to Truebill to look at it, do you know what they want? They wanted me, when you enter Truebill, for them to work, they got to go through your bills, and they do it online. So they want my username and password for every credit card I have. Think about that. I mean, they might be legit, but my God, how do we know? I mean, what would prevent anyone from saying they're an app or they're a company, and what they do is prevent fraud, and all the while taking your stuff and using it? I mean, I even called him and I said, wait a minute, you want me to put in every username and password I have? They said, yes, we needed to access your accounts so we can go through your statements. There's got to be a better way than that, for God's sakes. I couldn't believe it. Like, for example, QuickBooks has an accountant login, so it's not for you, you know, they can't do much and you can always take them off it, but I don't know. Anyway, we've learned a lot today. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, it's iHeartRadio Access Day. Save all your problems for me. Oh, got more? We got a few seconds.
Any more?
All right, thanks. I'm sorry. I thought it was 58 straight. Go ahead. I'll see you guys. I'll be in tomorrow.
All of us.
See you, buddy.
Bye. So anyway, yeah, what a day. What a weird day, this Radio Access Day. No breaks, no commercials, nothing.
There's a lot of HOA conversations. That's great.